well.
Hello.
Hello.
My voice might sound a little different today, but that's because
Hello.
I'm working with the government, with aliens, and they have permanently changed my voice. Welcome to the Adda. That's why it's called Nobody Saves Brew, because when
Yeah.
Brew.
Audio test.
Audio test.
Oh.
Audio test.
Yes, my audio is fine. Audio is
Everybody's
fine.
audio good?
Sid's audio
Yeah?
fine.
Everyone's good.
Seems good.
Okay, cool. Nice.
But yes, that's why it's called Nobody Saves Brew, because Brew working with
Yeah.
aliens, Brew gone. Brew dead.
Brew is
I see.
GG.
Yes.
Saint Brew.
Same
Yes.
Brew. This is Alien Brew. I am
Mhm.
the modern IRL version of Ben 10.
Pretty true.
Modern iron.
Isn't that a
Yourself
modern
way too
version
much
of Ben
credit.
10? Like, isn't there a new Ben 10 that's
Is
out
there?
there?
Isn't Ben 10 the modern version?
Like the
right?
new old Ben 10
No. There's like,
odd years ago.
Like
oh,
an
that was
older
years.
Ben 10?
Wasn't there some, wait, Ben 10? I don't even know what to search.
I remember an older Ben 10 that
New
was like
Ben 10.
he had like a very like upgraded Omni watch or some shit, and he was able to unlock like 1,000 forms or something.
Oh, holy shit, there is a new Ben 10.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had no
Right
clue.
now?
He looks younger than the first Ben 10 also.
Which
by the
year is
way.
it?
He's literally a little kid. Apparently
2021.
2020, yeah.
Oh, there's also a Ben 10 live action in 2021.
Oh my
The
god.
fuck, there's a live action for Ben 10.
Okay, I did not know
Holy
this.
shit. There's an adult version of Ben 10 called Ben 10,000. Well, I'm assuming that's where he has the 10,000 forms.
Yeah, Ben 10,000 is, yeah.
Is this? I don't know. I don't know if this is a joke
My
or
God.
something. It's called Ben 10 Alien Swarm, and it's a live action movie.
Oh my
To be
god.
honest, I've not kept up with this. I didn't expect a live action movie from Ben 10 of all things.
Oh yeah, this
All I
Just-
remember
this
is
Ben 10 just
the-
looks like the OG Ben 10, but like with a little kid Ben,
Yeah.
and forearms also looks like a kid. It's basically chibi Ben 10, I would say.
It's basically, yeah, it's just, yeah, exactly. It's like Chibi Ben 10.
Many people want Tom Holland to be Ben 10. That's weird.
In the movie.
that is
Yeah.
a bit weird, yeah.
Interesting.
Live action.
Mm.
Anyway,
But I think Tom Holland has been casting like the younger Spider-Man, all this, so it makes sense why they would want him to play Ben 10.
I guess, but like, I don't know. Like Ben 10, just weird. But anyway, welcome. I'm not gonna talk a lot today, and these guys are gonna carry the show. But I will talk a bit, and we have Nobody Saves the World as our first
So-
image. Wow, I didn't
Yes.
even finish, and Sid is just like,
So the thing is, see, bro, I don't really play a lot of games. I remember I said I don't get time to play games and all that. And this is the reason why I don't play games, because once I get into it, I play too much. Okay. For the past 2 days, yesterday and today, I've been playing this game non-stop, up to 8 hours of gameplay till now. Can you imagine? Me.
wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
one weekend
It's a
we really
really
let
fun-
loose, huh? Do you want
just
me
like
to?
I'm
calls me.
supposed to work also,
Yeah,
by
I
the
see.
way. So I'm like
Sid-
lagging behind. Have to stay
Sid
up
just
tonight.
calls me and is like, yo, I need like a nice game to play, like a nice strategy game to play, which is like the most unexpected call from Sid for all things. So like, what does he have today? Like, does he want to discuss an idea, a project? No, I want to play a game. Like, fucking surprise from Sid of all things.
But then I ended up getting Nobody Saves the World, and it's a really fun game. Basically, bro, it's like eternity. How to explain it to you?
Repeat
like this-
that. Repeat that. It's like what?
To your eternity.
It's like
the
to your
game.
eternity. The game. I see. One sec. Control 9K says at least stop snorting stuff on stream, bro. I'm sorry, Control 9K. It's a special medicine given to counter the aliens.
Yeah.
I have to take it so that the
Basic-
alien tentacles in my brain don't take over.
Don't come out, and we see a nice tentacle show on us.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't
to
worry.
see.
If that
The
happens,
monster
if that
inside
happens,
it.
I'm going to make full screen my video so that everyone can see the
Oh my
tentacle
God,
show.
No.
Yes. Or do you start working on those 3D tentacles?
Why do you need 3D tentacles made in software when you have 3D tentacles
The
coming
real
out
deal
as
right
hardware?
here,
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yes, Sid, go on.
No,
There's a giant
yeah.
dead dragon over here, I see.
Yeah, so basically, you see the guy in white on the first image. You start the game as him. Okay, he's nobody.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
And then you do like one, and then basically as you level up and change, it allows you to transform into all these like different forms.
I see.
You know,
Hmm.
you transform into like a rat, you know, a slug, a barbarian, a ranger, like these various forms.
I see.
And
Huh.
each of those forms have their own like type, like
Mhm.
poison, dark, light, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They have their own like abilities,
Okay.
and basically you need to upgrade another form, kind of thing. It's like a tree of forms,
Why
Oh.
is
It's a
the
really-
magician pulling out what can only be described as a fuck tiger on a
yeah.
hat?
So that's it. So I know that because I've unlocked the magician. It's like an ability of his where it's like summon familiar. So out of his hat he can take out a familiar to fight for you. So usually he takes out bunnies, but if you're really lucky, he takes out like a big tiger.
Huh.
And like using all these spells costs mana, of course.
Yes.
And it's like a dungeon crawler kind of game. It's really fun, and you need to strategize a lot because like you need to during the quest for specific situations you need to use like a specific form, or you need to switch forms to fight a specific kind of enemy.
Like resistances and sort of weaknesses, targeting
exactly.
certain things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And later on, like the part I've reached, you can also use abilities of other forms on one form, so you can customize your form, to have like different types and different
Oh,
abilities. So
okay,
it's like
okay.
really,
Sid,
really
you know which
interesting.
other game has health and mana and has different abilities?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I think he's talking about Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Yes.
go on.
I do know. I
Explain-
was telling you
Yes.
about Path of Exile.
Explain the dead dragon, Sid.
So that's one of the dungeons. So you go into these different dungeons and solve them during a quest.
Yeah, but looking at the size of things, is the dragon the dungeon?
I think it looks like you enter this
you
like
go
ribcage or some
inside,
shit and sort of
you see there's
explore
a
the insides.
black shadow under the wing, like that is the dungeon. You go inside.
But it still has its eye and shit. Like
What?
its eye is still there.
Yeah.
Why did the rest of the body decay, but the eye is
So I
still
haven't
there?
gone in this dungeon yet because it's like a level 30 dungeon and I'm like level 12.
Also-
so I haven't gone in there
Oh,
yet.
Also,
the
why did
levels
it
is
die in
weird, huh?
such a weird way? It's like it's like
I don't know. Weird.
I don't know. Somebody fucking bitch slapped it across the face and
Yeah.
just like fucking.
You talk to the guy in front of it and he's like, yo, this dragon just fell out of nowhere. I don't know why.
He just fell out of.
I see.
Uh,
Oh, it's an online this thing, is it?
There is online co-op also, but I'm playing offline.
Oh, why are all the
Okay.
trees cut in the background?
Well,
Oh,
it
funny
depends
feeling,
on the
Sid
area.
just went
Like
around
the
slashing shit.
map keeps changing, right? And
Random
you get
Otaku says
items,
hello.
money,
Hello,
and all
Random
that stuff.
Otaku.
Hello, Random Otaku. But it's a really fun game. I've really been enjoying it. Even like switching forms mid-battle and stuff is like really nice.
Hmm.
And you
Yes,
have,
this
like,
is to your
no
eternity, the
grinding, I don't
game.
think. Yeah. You said there's a leveling system in this, so
yes,
you have to like do certain levels just to like make sure you get past areas, or can you just kind of freely move along the story and get levels as you go rather than sit in one
So-
place and sort of
Audi is
farm it?
basically asking if this is like this thing. What's that? What's that game? Fuck, I forgot the name of the game. Sorry, my brain freezes sometimes because of my alien
What,
Is it
Audi?
Dark
dabbling.
Souls?
Dark Souls. Hey, you say Audi and game like come on.
Yeah, I
of
know.
course I'm gonna
I
say
also expected it.
No. One sec.
Dark Souls.
Okay,
God of War,
Hollow
what
Knight.
else?
Thank you. It's
Oh,
Hollow
Hollow Knight.
because
Right,
Hollow Knight
okay.
follows the same this thing. You can explore whichever
Like,
area you
Hollow
want
Knight-
at any time you want,
Huh.
and the
Oh.
levels are
Yeah,
different.
so you can do that. Yeah, but there are levels. Yeah, you can explore any area you want. And but the thing is, you have to level up. You have to level up each character's moves, and like you have to each form's moves, and
Uh,
you can fight anyone, but also, like lose. But yeah, Audi, what we're asking? Sorry, what
you can
you're saying.
basically choose to go for a level 30 fight if you want to, especially if you're under leveled. Huh? That's nice.
Can, yeah.
I like that option. That's
See-
the Dark Souls mod of every game.
No, see the restrictions are put in place for people like Audi.
But you
Like,
do
No.
get destroyed if you go. Like
you know what?
Yeah, I imagine.
For some reason, this
pretty sure
reminds me
probably-
of when we were all playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and we do that cheese method where we jump
Oh
into the
my
water, climb
goodness,
up to a
yes.
man of war, and then kill everyone inside so that we could take the man of
Yeah.
war easily. And then we found one of the
One
legendary ships. Audie and I were playing. We found one of the legendary ships, and we tried doing that same cheese method with the legendary ship. Except when we got close to it, they just fired cannons on Edward Kenway and killed him on the spot.
Shit. Holy, like they
I still feel
detected
so
you in
salty
the
about it.
water. And
Yeah,
they
they shot you underwater,
Holy shit.
and you just
It's like an
instantly died.
anti-cheese measure,
Yeah, there's
essentially.
no way to get close to that boat and jump onto it. You have to fight it
I think
with your boat, upgraded boat.
Yeah,
I think there is a way of doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, there was a way of doing it, and we did manage to climb up on the ship.
No,
but
no,
it
no. We
really
never did.
counted.
We never did. There was
No. I think it did count at one point, but the problem was the game basically thought that okay, you got the ship, you go and start the challenge, you shoot the ship, and the ship basically reverts back to its old form. But like 100 other people just sort of spawn back on the ship. You're like, well, fuck, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, Audie always wanted to fight it when his ship was not upgraded. So it was already an uphill battle with a fully upgraded ship, and Audie would like intentionally make it more difficult, and it was painful,
Wow.
absolutely painful.
Well, yeah, that's what Audi does,
It is more
right?
fun
Yeah.
that way.
But the level up system, right? Like Audi was saying, that's like any RPG, like Pokemon or any RPG. Like in every area, you have these monsters. Like you have the grass, or like in any RPG, right? So you fight them, and it'll be like almost equal, or like you'll be a little weak, so it'll be difficult, but you can still beat the enemy. But of course, if you keep going to the areas and fighting those mobs, you'll get to like a higher level and destroy them.
The upgrading bit for this, is it like Path of Exile, where you can choose a set path for upgrading, which you can play like a specific class?
Set path.
No,
that's what, since you can switch forms, you're basically switching classes.
Yeah, no. So like, I'm assuming no. I was like upgrade through a certain class, or through like a certain damage type, so to speak, or do the upgrade sort of affect your ability to switch out, or mix your abilities and stuff like that? How does the upgrading work?
The upgrades are interesting because, like, suppose you're like from nobody you go to like a rat, okay, and from rat you go to like barbarian and like ranger. So you can upgrade the barbarian tree and the ranger tree. But so you have grades. You start with F grade, and the more you level up, you go like E, A. And once you're like at A, you unlock the left side. If you're at C, you unlock the right side of the tree, and so on. Like, you need to reach a certain level with the form to unlock the next form, kind of thing.
Sounds rather intricate.
So why is there like why is there toxic masses on top of what looks like an old castle?
Yeah, so that the monster had like these monsters had taken over like this castle or something like that. Yeah.
And what monsters are these exactly? Stage 4 cancer?
Yeah, basically. They look like fucking tumors. But also you need different forms to go through, like different. Suppose there's water, so you need like the mermaid form to go through like the rivers and stuff. And then you need the rat form to go through like really like narrow, tiny spaces and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, it's
sewers,
really fun.
Those are sewers.
No, like actual like holes, like rat
sewers.
holes.
Rat holes
Are
sewers.
Yeah, not sewers. I haven't gone into a sewer yet.
I see.
Pretty sure there'll be a level.
But yeah, it's fun.
Looks really fun. Looks like it has nice level design as well.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty cool.
This reminds me, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got like a Instagram notification from Nandemo, and someone called New Tales of Pirates or something. Like a lot of our reels, and I was watching it. I didn't see any reels that I was talking about Tales of Pirates, because I assumed like I was talking about it, and then they saw it and they were like, okay.
Yeah.
And I got really excited for a second. I was like, God damn, is it actually back? And turned out to be like some scam account, but they just liked all our posts. So I'm like, fuck it, who cares?
Of course. And in this, you can also like join guilds and stuff, like games like Skyrim, where you can join like the Knights Guild or the Thieves Guild or the Guild of Wizards, like different guilds. And you can level up your rank in those guilds also, like proper.
Hey, but if you can shift into any form you want, doesn't mean you can join multiple guilds.
No, so the thing is, when you have, because you don't have like eyes, right? Like, all your forms, they don't have eyes, so they're like, you're a nobody. But like, so I had a Thieves Guild mission where I had to go to the store and buy like 4 daggers for him. And the guy gives one dagger per person. So I had to go in as a different form. Be like,
My
oh,
God.
you're a knight, sir. What do you want? You want a dagger? Oh, I see a ranger. Like, you know.
My God.
Get on and go
So what
to
you
different
you just
forms.
go outside, transform, and go back in?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my God. I wonder, did you try transforming in front of him and then doing it?
No, I
Oh
didn't.
my,
You should have
I
tried
should have
that,
done
yeah.
that. Yeah. And dude, also like I went to this place where there's like a archery competition, so you need to be a ranger. So I go there like as a mermaid, and they're like, "Yo, this is for rangers. Would you like to join?"
That's nice.
I'm like, "Yes." Like, yeah, but you're clearly not a fucking ranger. Duh, what's wrong with you? You can't join. Why do you say yes?
For exclusive area, I like that. That's nice.
Somebody
like,
was
even the
having a lot of
options, I guess,
fun over there.
Yeah, and there's options, like I'm having a conversation like, hey, do you like this guy? And the options are no, hell no. You can easily just no, hell no.
You just do a whole hell no run and just
Yeah.
see what the responses are.
But yeah, really fun game. Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
This looks like either a
Mhm.
Kirby or a Ditto simulator. Like just play
Yeah.
and pick
Hey,
up
it's to
whoever
your
the
eternity
fuck you
simulator.
want.
He already said so.
Yeah, dude, it's to your eternity. The
My
game.
God, listen a bit. Listen.
Yeah, I know, but you can turn into these different forms. Come on.
I'm assuming this is not
But yeah.
part of the game. Midnight Asia,
No, it
Eat,
is
Dance,
not.
Dream.
No, so this is a documentary series I saw on Netflix recently. So this basically they selected a few places in Asia, and they talked about like the midnight subcultures, like restaurants, like different kinds of restaurants, club, like art galleries, food, all these things that people do. And different big cities around Asia, like these small subcultures that people have. So of course they had like Japan, Seoul, they had
Mumbai.
Yes, they had Mumbai, they had Taipei, they had Philippines.
Okay.
Yes,
And
they
Bangkok.
came to my Adda to record it. You must have seen it. You must have recognized it.
Yeah, of course.
I
Yeah.
don't know, the nightlife was really bustling in the desert of Mumbai.
No, so I'll tell. So the other ones were like really cool. Like I like all of them, but I want to tell you about Mumbai. So everyone was talking about how Mumbai like goes awake at night and all that shit, right? And the first one they showed was like a rapper going to perform
Oh my God.
somewhere, like a really popular rapper from Dharavi. Okay, like these guys in Dharavi. And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's what they're gonna show, the rap this in Mumbai at night. The second one was this guy who does like midnight like storytelling around Mumbai. Like he takes people on bikes and
That just seems like
stuff. Yeah,
like a ploy from the guy to be like, yes, I totally say stories in the night.
It's called
Nobody
like
gets
something
stabbed.
of some tales of singing bards or something. I forgot the name of his thing, but basically he goes around telling stories to people like about like the history of the buildings and all these things in South Mumbai. And another one was this.
I would totally do that, but I would make up like my random stories.
Yeah,
I know.
And I'd just be like, oh yeah, Lord Baron had this mistress lived over here. They're like, oh, Lord Baron, yes, I know Lord Baron.
Yes.
Most of the places are that side of Mumbai, like the south, of course. That's what they're gonna show. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like literally all of it was like that area,
Yeah.
Like they showed a guy who makes really good food in like Grant Road, like literally that place and nothing else,
South
They showed
Bombay,
like
nothing
this,
else.
yeah,
So
like this
bo.
bakery that makes macaroons.
Yeah, I know that
basically,
bakery.
Like
Wait,
Lay 15 or something. It has
what's the name of the bakery? No, there's another bakery really famous for macarons near Marine Drive.
Oh, Marine Drive. Okay, that I don't know. I knew there was a bakery. Sid, you had told me about this. There was a bakery somewhere in CST next to the Jahangir Art Gallery or something.
Oh, that's St. Mag's. Yeah.
St. Mag's. They were also famous for macaroons and small pastry dishes.
Yeah, but they show this bakery that mixes like Indian flavors with macaroons and sells it. Like they made like
Indian
a chai
flavor.
macaroon, like interesting. They made a macaroon which is really popular, which is apparently like green chilies and white chocolate.
My God.
Apparently.
Green. Oh, okay. That's
White chocolate, I
Yeah,
can
like that's a
understand.
very-
Green chilies, not really.
No, like why are those two the combined things over here? Like one is just like painfully spicy, the other is just like painfully
know,
sugary.
apparently-
Hey,
It's
sharp
really
white chocolate is the
popular.
best.
It is the best. That's what I'm saying.
You fucking solid mud eater.
God.
And the other
see
one they
blue,
showed
yeah.
was this bar where there's like this lady who's like one of the best like flair bartenders over here in India.
Mhm.
You know,
Flair bartenders.
like, where they,
Flair,
like, throw
flair.
bottles and like do stunts and shit. You know,
Oh, right.
must have seen.
The fucking maneuvers and
Where they
whatnot.
pour the
Yeah.
alcohol and it goes straight into your mouth.
yeah.
Oh, of
So
course.
apparently she's like really pro, and you know like make some
Hmm.
really cool cocktails, and her bar is very famous.
Our very own
Oh.
AOC.
Hmm. Really, this thing. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's all they showed of Mumbai.
I figured they'd show something
Hmm.
close to like Leopold and stuff, you know, because that's where also the nightlife kind of
Hmm.
goes around, especially right next to
Yeah,
Leopold.
basically that
What is
whole
the
area.
restaurant, bro, that we had went to?
Mondegas.
Not Mondegas, like ahead of Mondegas, right next to the
Mhm.
Afghani restaurant. You know which one I'm talking. You know exactly which I'm talking. We've gone to that place. We saw a
Restaurant?
certain Bob.
It's all a certain
Restaurants.
Bob.
Bob.
Bob. Oh, that's not a restaurant. That's a bar.
Yeah, what is that place called?
Shit, I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well there's like a nice bar over there, and that's
Mhm.
basically
Okay, calling
like
it
the,
nice is like a
okay, not a
blatant
nice.
lie. Okay, it's a
It
a
has its
hole.
own
that nice
atmosphere. I
or-
would say that.
It's
that
it's a
much.
hole in the wall.
I
Okay,
see.
people are like drunk and smoking
A
all
gigantic
all
fucking hole
around
in
the
the wall.
place. You get good food and you get a lot of
Mhm.
drinks. It's all cheap, so people flock
I
there
see.
constantly. In a COVID situation, it's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, right now it's a nightmare. Yeah, that's and this show used to be like it starts at night and it ends like when the sun rises, like every episode. So they're like, what goes on in the midnight?
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
But I wanted to ask you guys, like at the time in the past when we used to go out around
Mhm.
there at night, you know, before all this shit, and when we were in like college and whatever, what would be your places for like going out at night?
I
The
once
same
went.
place that we had gone to at the time.
Yeah, Gokul. I
1441.
think it was Gokul, the place.
Oh, like okay,
In the
general.
south.
No, I'm
In the
saying
south, I'd say, yeah, 1441 is where you normally went. I'd say
Yeah.
go there and then
1441.
fucking walk around the road over
You
there
know
for
what?
like an hour or so doing
you know
fucking
what we
nothing.
never did? We never went to Marine Drive and spent the entire night over there.
I thought cops sort of catch you over there if you spend the
They
whole
come and
night
tell you
over
to
there.
move, and then you just go
Did you
move a
never
little ahead,
spend-
and
I
that's it.
see.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that's what they did. Yeah,
Okay,
even the cops chased Mickey when he was with his friends in Marine Drive at
Yeah.
night. He literally ran from them. Yeah.
I wonder if we can still do that right now. I'm pretty
No,
sure
now it will probably
cops
be.
will crack down.
Now
on
you
people,
will
yeah.
get fucked. Now you'll definitely get fucked.
Mhm.
So the thing is, before there used to be a lot of vendors who would sell you like small snacks and would sell you like Bonvita and all that stuff, Boost,
Tuckman all the time.
and they would sell you like coffee and stuff like that. So you could actually go there, sit there the whole night, and have some snacks, have something to drink, chill a little bit.
Just the fact that you
Yeah,
said Boost and Bonvita, like fucking hell, now I just remember, you know, like the amount of times some regular random coffee will be like Bonvita chai. I'm like, ye kidhar se aa gaya hai? I expect like coffee and chai, you know, that's like the normal option. The motherfucker comes with Boost.
Yeah, they have like a lot of milk options. I think they also have Horlicks.
Yeah.
So you have like all these options for drinks, and you can just sit there and chill. Somehow we have never done that. We've always been like go to 1441, eat like fancy pizza, come back home and sit next to the local coffee guy over there.
We never won for. We did travel.
We
and
used to
not
go to
travel.
that area to like I don't know if I went with y'all a couple of times, but just to go and walk around and chill, right?
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah, pretty much.
before 1441, like when we used to go to like Fort and stuff.
That was for Pokemon Go, baby.
You know, the earliest
No,
thing
not for
said, I think the
Pokemon Go.
earliest reason
Okay.
we went to CST was for the anime keychains.
Yeah, to Fort, yeah. For
Yeah,
the
and then
keychains, yeah.
after that, when we grew up a little bit more, it was for Ingress. And after Ingress, it
Kagora,
became.
like I used to go for Kalagora. Like,
Yeah, even I used to
you've
go.
been
Yeah,
there
yeah,
once, right? With
Once,
me. Yeah,
once
yeah.
with you, and then I've gone there with other people as well. But
Mm-hmm.
then we went for Ingress. We can't, like, guys, if you guys play Ingress, just know that Sid, me, and Bob were three of the reasons Ingress is big in India. Okay, we
Yes.
submitted every
Mumbai
single
especially,
place.
apparently.
We ran all over Mumbai. We took photos of every single statue, every single wall, everything. We just sent it to Niantic. Niantic probably has like a proper map of Mumbai just because of us.
Dude, we have named places on Google like Ornate Arch in Nehru. Like, come on, we need credit for that shit.
Which one was the fountain? The fountain, fucking hell, the fountain like the fountain right before Gateway. That was one of the photos that we had taken and submitted to Ingress, and that got turned into a Pokestop later on.
Yeah, it did.
And later it comes on Google Maps thanks to us.
Yeah, basically. So we are the modern Lewis and Clark, so to speak.
Yeah, basically.
Except we didn't need a minor native Indian to lead us. We were leaders of our own.
We got enough stories just looking at the dark corners over there. I'm like, yep, nice story, goodbye.
And then we started going for camera stuff and tech stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly and then Comic Con as well.
CST. Oh yeah, the first Comic Con.
Comic Con, yeah.
Yeah, that was
we went. I remember first Comic Con we went to CST. We went to the McDonald's, ate hash browns, and then went for the Comic Con. Came back, ate in Canon pav bhaji, and then we.
Canon, oh. Dude.
I've not had Canon in years now. Fucking
dude, it's been years since I went to South Mumbai, by the way. Like fucking years.
Same.
When did we last go? Like all of us together. I think we went like some 2000.
Since.
Well, I went to Goregaon for New Year's. That's
Goregaon, but that's still like the opposite direction.
No, I'm saying like that part of Mumbai not been there for very long.
Like that together. Like what? Before you went to Singapore?
Like 2015, 16, like that
way
long
back.
Yeah.
I think that was also around the time we kind of stopped doing our, usual 1-4-4-1 runs.
Yeah. Also, we stopped having money as much. So it's another reason.
That too, yes.
By we, I mean Sid and me, not you, Addy, of course.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Anyway, then we have... I'm assuming Audi put this.
No, this, I wanted to ask Audi about this basically because he's a gamer boy, and if he is Microsoft's acquisition of Blizzard Gaming good.
Just
Blizzard
one sec, I'm going to wake up my dog who's having a nightmare. Oops.
Audi, can you talk about this?
So I will admit I have kind of seen videos and news being made about this.
Who has it, Audi?
YouTubers, one mainly being Linus himself.
Oh, my heart is filled with pride.
I saw the whole podcast where they were discussing about this.
The Van Show, yes.
Whole episode dedicated. Yeah, the Van Show, yeah. So, and there are negatives and positives to this. There are goods and bads to this whole debate.
Well,
one being
I was actually going to talk about this, but then since Audie's watched the video, I might as well just let him continue. Go on, Audi.
Wait, before we they bought it for like 70 fucking billion, right?
No, 68.7
billion.
The biggest concern that everybody has is that it's not 69 million.
69.
That is true, yeah. I don't know why they decide 68.7 now.
They were like more sexual jokes with Activision Blizzard. Nah, I'm going to skip that. Activision Blizzard was probably like 69 billion and they're like 68.7. We are not giving you that number. Fuck you.
Not even going to give you the closest amount of fucking social media coverage for this shit. Fuck off.
But continue, Audi.
67 billion have purchased Activision Blizzard, two of the probably one of the juggernauts of the gaming industry out there. And there are goods, there are bads, but let's start with the good side of it. Activision and Blizzard have basically been in the fucking radar so far for like what feels like a year now.
More than a year.
Actually, half a year basically. And
more than a year. If you're talking about the sexual harassment thing, it's been more than a year.
Yeah, basically. More than a year, okay, yeah. So they've been under the radar for over years. I would say a merger was kind of coming, but straight up being bought out by Microsoft, that is still further unexpected. And they, like Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, decided to step down through this deal. I don't know if he decided to step down or if he was a part of this deal.
He was a part of the deal, but there are rumors that he's going to be stepping down.
He'll step down like 2023 or something. I think I read that.
So the thing is, Bobby Kotick, he might be he might be making a role for himself, either as a contractor
Advisor
or
or a
advisor,
counselor or
yeah.
some shit.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
or
So
they
he
might
can go to the next picture also.
yeah, or he might give them. Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't realize there was this much text. Yeah, or he might make like a deal with them and then leave after he gets all the money he wants.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But Blizzard has been under a lot of blame because a first-time chatter on Twitch, Blink here and the unknown 1920. Welcome, guys. Blink here says
Welcome.
podcast. Yes, it's a podcast.
Yes.
And the unknown 1920 says, yo, what's up? We're glad to have you here. I'm not sick. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Yeah, he is definitely sick. Don't worry.
But you're following Reddit, right?
But yeah,
I am following Reddit.
So basically, there's there are a lot of cases of sexual harassment in Blizzard, and there was one where a woman told her superior basically about some trigger warnings that she had, and then she was made fun of it for her mental health, and then she ended up committing suicide.
Yeah.
So
that was a little fire over there. Like there was obviously a lot of cases going on over there, but then that shit kind of
Holy shit.
pushed everyone over the edge. And then ever since then, I think Activision and Blizzard have been under
This
fucking
was
fire.
Blizzard or Activision?
Activision and Blizzard basically formed a merger because both companies were doing shit as far as purchases were concerned.
Yeah.
So they had to sort of be merged into one company and make as much money as possible. But then this shit happened. This thing blew up. And now basically, because they're under fire, share values have been coming down like crazy. And $95 a share, Microsoft decided to purchase them. I purchased Activision, Blizzard, and all the companies under them for $68.7 billion. So one of the benefits of this is obviously Bobby Kotick being out, hopefully, by 2023, and Phil Spencer replacing Activision Blizzard as the CEO. And
I don't think Phil Spencer is going to be the new CEO. Why would he leave his current job? He's the head of Xbox right now. Isn't he? Phil Spencer is the head of Xbox or Game Pass?
I'm mixing something up then. I'm not sure. I think Game Pass, yeah. But like he's sort of
he's the executive vice president of gaming. Never mind. I thought it was one or the other, which is
in Microsoft in general.
Yeah, of Microsoft. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
He's currently the head of the Xbox parent. Yeah.
Was Activision part of another company before Blizzard? Like
Activision was a company before Blizzard, and then they both.
No, Activision was acquiring other companies.
Activision and Blizzard have acquired a lot of companies through the years, and now they both
Activision, Blizzard have sort of acquired smaller studios through the years and sort of like gained a mobile platform, so to speak, by acquiring these studios. And they sort of were building their own brand, so to speak.
Yeah.
Until Activision and Blizzard kind of did the merger. But
yeah, I heard it was really it was really bad news for like companies to be owned by who were bought by Activision apparently.
Yeah, but it's not only Activision's the problem. It's also a bad thing to be owned by EA, or a bad thing to be owned by Ubisoft.
That's true.
A bad thing, terrible thing to be owned by Nintendo.
No, because like I used to play like all these games, right? Like Spider-Man 2 and all like those old school games which were like Activision owned, I remember in the past. And later on, like people were like, yo, Activision is like
but that's the thing, that both the companies have gone further and further away from what the original co-founders wanted, as far as I know. And maybe it's just people changing or the company changing because of its size, but eventually the culture is not something that helped anybody except the people at the top already. But the thing is, Microsoft gained so much out of this, it's not even funny, because Phil Spencer had to call Sony and have a talk with them, and it be like, yes, Call of Duty will still be available on the PlayStation, do not worry. So he had to have a call.
PlayStation thing will be crazy, right?
Yeah, he had to have a call just to tell PlayStation that all contracts that PlayStation has with Activision Blizzard will still be honored. That doesn't mean that they will renew the contracts as far as we know now. But they've said that all the contracts that already exist will be honored by the company and by Microsoft.
Nothing new.
Nothing new will come. I
nothing
think if
new
they have
so
like
far.
5-year contracts for the console, that should shut down.
Not necessarily.
Studios that like are under them and like they were publishing for, all that is like now who were making stuff for Sony may not make stuff for Sony in the future.
No, the thing is, Sony themselves own most of the people who make stuff for PlayStation. So they
Especially
have a pretty
God
good.
of War as an example.
Yeah.
Santa Monica Studios, they are owned
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Sony at the end of the day.
So
most exclusives that come to Sony are already under Sony
yeah.
until they aren't, and Microsoft decides to.
But the thing is, Microsoft has this thing, right? Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass. And that is something they're pushing heavily on PC. And they've already said that they will get all the games from Activision Blizzard into Xbox Game Pass as soon as possible. And they said that their end goal is to have Game Pass on the PlayStation. So I don't necessarily think that Microsoft, at least from what I see, I don't think Microsoft will not renew contracts with PlayStation not because they want to be nice to PlayStation, but because if they do that, then there's a bigger chance of PlayStation in return accepting Xbox Game Pass. And Linus said that if PlayStation accepts Game Pass, then the PlayStation is in Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation is kind of backed into a corner with this right now. They kind of have nothing going on with the PS5. Their PS4 is still making their most sales.
Oh my god.
And as far as the gaming sector is concerned, I think Sony is still leading.
How dare you, Adi? The PS5 has like a 6 whole games, okay?
6.
And the
All of
PS5
6
is
are
one
games.
of the most difficult things to obtain
Yeah.
right now.
It's rarer than fucking diamonds, dude. That's how rare this
Yeah.
shit is. You literally won't be able to find it if you tried hard enough. You scoured the whole fucking
If you
country, you
bid
couldn't
for
find
it online and shit. Like,
Yeah, and then
if
there are
you
like
want it.
fucking scalpers, obviously, which just add more pain to the whole process. But
But
as
the
is,
way-
PS5 is like tough to find.
But that so doesn't that so if it'll thing the Sony and Microsoft thing, it'll leave a lot of it's difficult for big independent game companies who don't have consoles, right? There are some, of course, like Bethesda and CD Projekt Red,
Which
that
are already owned by Microsoft, yes.
Bethesda is owned by Microsoft.
They did that. Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, shit, that was
Yeah.
Wait, they bought it's not done yet though, right?
No, they've
they're
owned them for a
They're all in
long
the Game
time.
Pass right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember they were
they're,
proposing, but then something happened, and I thought it didn't
Bethesda's
happen.
newest they got purchased. Bethesda's newest game, Starfield, the newest IP, is also going to be coming out on the Game Pass as well. So everyone was absolutely shocked at the purchase of
I'd
Bethesda
heard about
from
it happening.
Microsoft.
Damn.
And everyone was actually surprised because they were like, okay, fucking hell, we can just pay $10 and we get access to Fallout, Skyrim, Starfield, the newest Bethesda game that will come out, Doom Eternal, all that shit.
Yeah.
All for the low price of $10. But then it still kind of sends us in the near future they're going to increase the price for the Game Pass, and if they're going to keep buying out all these companies, why not?
Not necessarily.
They can right now just give the promise of $10 and be like, okay, Game Pass is $10 right now.
See, the thing is,
until they have like a proper monopoly on the whole thing, they can just be like, well,
they're never going to have a monopoly, dude. Never. Sony is too big.
Yeah,
and
so
Nintendo is also too big.
Any company that's big will either be taken by Microsoft or Sony, basically, in the end.
Yeah, it's a duopoly for this, and then you have Nintendo. So,
and Nintendo is doing its own thing,
Bro, you watched the one show, right? Do you still remember the thing about antitrust that they said?
Yeah, of course, they're going to do that. So basically, Microsoft are saying they're still the third largest in the world and not the first or second, and they're only the unknown 1920 says GTA. Yes, GTA also. But basically, what Microsoft is doing, at least what people think they're doing, is that they're not saying that to humble brag or something. It's just that they're saying we're third, so we're not the biggest, so it's not a monopoly. We are not buying over everybody just so that we can control the entire market, which is very. If you go back a long way, that is typical Microsoft style. They actually always have anti-consumer
competition.
Yeah, they have anti-consumer practices in general. But they
1999 or something, when the antitrust laws were based on this whole thing,
even before
Bill Gates was called out on this bullshit.
Even before that, Bill Gates was ruthless at the start, dude. He used to fuck over competition like crazy.
they established the whole antitrust system and basically said that you can't really just go around buying out other companies and killing all competition, because at the end of the day, for like the biggest bad thing I can see coming from this is that if Microsoft does get their way of right and goes around buying out all companies and eventually buying out all the competition, that's basically a monopoly, and that means there
Not a
is going to be
monopoly,
no
though.
progress.
There'll be
Yeah, but I mean,
Sony.
a lot of like
There'll
tech
be
companies
Nintendo.
do it, like Google for years, like,
No,
buy
Sid-
companies.
Sid,
that they want,
Nvidia
right?
was sued by the US government when they tried to buy ARM because the government said that is you will basically control everything, and that's not cool. Because ARM runs like ARM is it's mobile, right? It runs on your
Yeah.
phone, it runs on your car, it runs on your smart fridge, whatever the fuck. So ARM runs on so many devices that if Nvidia gets control over it and then stops licensing it to other companies, then you're screwed. Because if they own the company, they have the right to do that.
Okay.
So the purchase was blocked by the government because of monopoly issues. They were sued and they won this thing. So they can't buy, Nvidia can't buy ARM.
They can't buy ARM.
But
I
right
see.
now, there's nothing stopping Microsoft from buying every other company because there's still competition.
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, like quality, I don't know how much quality will be affected by this for games. At least right now that the acquisition has happened for Activision Blizzard, the quality of the games are going to be really skyrocketing from their games are absolute ass, basically. Like they had no good games and their IPs are generally failing by the fucking year.
They were not failing,
And
they
now
were
that
decaying because they were not being used. The only IP that was being used by Activision Blizzard was Call of Duty, and they own King. King is basically the king of mobile games. So I think King is Candy
fucking
Crush.
They even
King.
had World of Warcraft as
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah,
that's
Candy
also a
Crush is
dying
under
fucking
King.
game.
Yeah.
Dog Dookie says Dookie podcast. Well, I don't know if you're. But essentially, if it's going to be a monopoly towards like later on in the future, they can just kind of reduce the quality of games. I don't know if like I'm pretty sure Microsoft will also consider giving like independence to these studios as long as like even though they're under Microsoft's control.
That's what they did with Mojang.
Yeah, they all have they all have independence, right? Even though they're like bought, like to an extent, I guess they have independence, but
they are pretty much independent. Just that Microsoft doesn't care about what you do per se. They just care about what they are getting in Xbox Game Pass. So the more games they have in that, the easier it is for them. And the thing is, like before, at least it was they would have to have a lot of deals. They would have to have a lot of legal work and get into agreements and be like, okay, we will pay you this much. And now Microsoft is like, dude, screw you. We own you. Just put the fucking game over there, or you get fucked. That's all.
Yeah. And even the like Microsoft is like, this is all to beat Sony, right? Because we tell Sony to take our Game Pass.
More than beating Sony, it's just like Microsoft is like, they're just trying to establish themselves in the gaming department in a way that nobody can remove them. And right now they're succeeding. But the thing is, like, Steam still exists.
But that's in console. Like for PC, for gaming, it's always been Microsoft, right?
No, that's the thing. Steam still exists. So even if you don't have Game Pass and you have Steam, that's competition. Microsoft is still getting competition through. That's the thing. Steam OS has been in development for a long time, and the Steam Deck is going to run Steam OS 3, and that is supposed to be the most user intuitive. More than 5 years. They started working on Linux stuff before it was called Steam OS. They're still working on Linux stuff, so we have no idea.
OS is exclusive to the Steam Deck, though, right?
No. It's open source. It's a Linux OS. It's a Linux distro.
Okay.
So you basically can install it on anything you want, and it's entirely for gaming. And the only problem with Linux gaming and Steam is that you need to use this layer called Proton, which is what you need to run games on for a few select games that are native to Linux. Well, I say few select, but most of the games are native to Linux. But the problem is it's like an anti-cheat problem where if you use Proton, then the anti-cheat doesn't let you play because it thinks you're cheating because you're on Linux.
Oh, okay.
So Valve has worked with all these companies individually to make sure that the Steam Deck will run smoothly with Proton without anti-cheat being affected. And if that's the case, and Valve released Steam OS 3, which I don't know when it's going to come 3.0, but whenever it comes, it's considered a major player in the gaming wars.
In the console. Okay.
So people might just switch to Linux if they do a good enough job.
Dog Dookie
Yeah.
says wasting your time. How are we wasting our time? Please do tell us.
He's just encouraging him. But like Steam does still have all the games that Microsoft Windows and all. Steam already has these games, right? There's no like exclusivity thing like not.
No, there are, right, because you have Epic
right?
exclusive games now, and then you have EA.
Sony
EA hasn't
exclusive
released. Ubisoft hasn't released Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Steam yet because they want you.
They have the
Steam.
No, you have to download
the Uplay store.
yeah.
And
then
stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn, all that stuff, like
Yeah,
No,
we
so
already
Horizon
got
Zero
it on-
Dawn is coming out on Steam, if I'm not. Horizon
Dude.
Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
That I'm assuming is coming out on this thing, but that's basically because Steam and Sony had a deal, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, we're going to release some IPs towards."
yeah, that's why God of War
Steam
also
right now.
is coming out. No?
Yeah, and that's why God of War came out on Steam. But until like what? Basically, what was like a year ago, they didn't have. Sony didn't have the games on Steam 1.5 years ago, I believe. Sony had no games on Steam, and that didn't really fuck them up in sales because they were still making big fucking songs. And that's kind of the whole point of the exclusives at the end of the day. But then, here we now have some really good fucking games on Steam. And Xbox can also do this, basically the same thing. If they buy out all these games, they can be like, well, fuck it, we're just going to keep them on the Game Pass. We'll just remove them from Steam at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, if Ubisoft can do that with Assassin's Creed, I'm pretty sure Microsoft won't lose a ton of money doing this,
Yeah, but the
It'll
fun
still
part
net
is
them a
Steam,
good amount of
Gabe
money, but
Newell
then
is
they can-
literally not going to give one tiny rat's ass about it. Gabe Newell. He's still going to be still going to be reeling in the dollars with Steam. Even if every game that we like has been removed from Steam, there's still going to be games that people will play on Steam and Steam alone.
Yeah, like honestly, for me, like if I have to buy a game, I'd check Steam first.
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's what I would do. Of course, like I wouldn't do anything else.
It's
first check Steam. And
Steam
buy
is
the
like the most accessible place for us as Indians, especially.
Yeah.
So you get
100%.
you get like really good deals on Steam for at least for our this thing.
And like PCs, like we don't buy consoles, of course, right? Because it's something we can work on and play on. Like we don't have to buy a separate console just for gaming. And so if you want a game, like Steam is the best. Yeah, you're right. Steam is the best place for us to get it.
It's also who goes to Microsoft store and buys a game?
Yeah,
pretty sure even
never
other
gone to that
loaders
shit.
like Epic and Microsoft, they still don't have the rupee conversion. So like here the rupee conversion actually does make the big difference for.
Yeah, Steam has regional pricing as well, so it's not all the same.
Regional pricing. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like because like if you go into like Microsoft and try to buy Minecraft directly, say there it's like a $26 price, and you look at the $26 and go, what the fuck is $26? I'm not gonna buy that shit. Too fucking pricey for me. Then you go, but then you convert to regional pricing, and suddenly you have a big fucking buyership coming from India.
No, the thing is, the regional pricing not only like you're just saying a direct conversion, but regional pricing adjusts prices according to the country. So games are cheaper in some countries than other countries. And in fact, Adi, this is one of the biggest complaints by people with the Battle Pass for Dota, because they're like, why don't you just add regional pricing for the Battle Pass so that it's easier for us to buy it in third world countries? But Valve has not done that so far because there's a lot of ways it could be abused apparently. So, but their regional pricing for games is pretty tight.
It nets them a good amount of money. I mean, sure, they get less amount of money per purchase, but that just drives incentive for more people to purchase.
Yeah, but we don't know the reason why, that's all.
He's all like, Audi, he has like 200 games in his Steam library.
Yeah,
come on.
That's true.
Oh, man.
And I bet half or more than half can't run on his laptop right now.
Yeah. Nowadays, you need the 3090, okay? You need 4K ray tracing.
I'd say most of them can run.
4K ray tracing now.
I'm looking at them right now. Like most of them are like either old games or relatively low detail games, except for like a couple of them.
Sid, you laugh, but Samsung phones are going to be working with AMD's RDNA 2, and they're going to have ray tracing on mobile phones. You could have ray tracing on your mobile games. Yeah.
Are developers for mobile games even like, applying
Looking
ray
into ray
tracing?
tracing?
They probably aren't, but they will. And
Fucking God of War
the thing is, the Steam Deck uses the same RDNA 2 graphics. So
Okay.
this is supposed to be like a huge step in mobile gaming for
Holy shit.
Android
I'll
and stuff.
just be staring at windows and floors and walls and seeing light reflections of a
Well, it really depends on what display you're seeing it through. If you're looking at it through like your phone, it probably makes sense because your phone has a really
don't
good
think-
display. But if you're looking at it through Audi's phone, like imagine if Audi's phone had that, you'd just be like, fuck it, I don't care, and just throw the phone away.
Yeah. Like why have ray trace? Like you need a good display
Yeah.
to support,
Yeah.
these features too.
And you need HDR, which I don't think even
Yeah.
your phone has HDR, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know.
Because I don't think the brightness even goes up that far. But it's like if you have flagship phones, which is like basically what Samsung is aiming for, obviously, you're going to have like some really beautiful looking games which they can make for mobile.
Dude, I saw like, so Cyberpunk has like 4K ray tracing,
Yeah.
right? The Cyberpunk game, and I saw someone play that on like with the 3090 on the LG C10, I think, that monitor. Holy shit, fucking insane!
I'm assuming the C10 is a
died
curved
inside.
monitor.
I died inside.
The C10
when I
is a
saw it. No,
50
it's
or
not curved.
55 inches OLED.
It's
screen.
70.
Or is the
77
C9?
inches.
Is the C9 55
The
inches? Okay, maybe.
CX, like the C10,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it the
Insane.
N OLED? What is it? NAND OLED? Something like that?
I think so. I'm not sure about this thing, but
Or is it just OLED?
yeah.
Because LG is currently leading the market with their Nano OLED or whatever it's called.
I think this one is just OLED.
Yeah, this one seems to be just OLED.
Yeah, this one is just OLED. Yeah. That game looked insane. I think to play that game, you need to play it on something like that, or don't.
Yeah, the thing is, the 3060 can also do ray tracing, but I can't do it at 4K, definitely. I can see Cyberpunk itself is like impossible to run on most, even 3060
impossible.
chugs like crazy.
Yeah.
So, but I realized something. Okay, I was playing different games, right? I tried Valorant, and Pranit was like, Adochi was like, yeah, this is I'm getting like 200 frames on my PC, and I'm looking at Dota, and Nikki is getting the same frames as I am. And then suddenly it struck me, like I've been playing on a 2K display the whole time, and it just never struck me because I'm so used to 1080p, right? So everything I play automatically, I'm just like, yeah, it's 1080p. I'm like, I have a 1080p screen here, I have a 1080p screen here, I have a 1080p screen here. And then suddenly I'm like looking at it and I'm reading something, and this guy's like, yeah, I've been getting like 200 frames on 2K with the 3080. I was like, wait a second, I'm getting 120 frames with the 36. That makes sense.
Wait, Pranit has a 30.
No. I was reading something somebody else wrote about games.
Okay.
But Pranit has a 710, and he's getting 200 frames apparently. I have no idea how that's possible.
How is that possible?
His monitor is probably like I don't know, 460p or something, and it's like pumping out frames without
probably. Holy shit.
He says
30,
it's
I would imagine,
Yeah, but that's Valorant. So
yeah.
Brandon Otaku says I was busy. That's okay. Welcome back. But yeah, the main thing, which I either forgot to mention or didn't remember in the moment, but was it people like Linus and Luke, the two guys who run Vanshow, were talking about how they weren't able to play Halo Infinite because Microsoft servers were down. And they're talking about how the thing Microsoft does worst is online play and
multiplayer,
getting friends together and making guilds and all that stuff. And they were like, every other company does better than Microsoft in that aspect, except Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
I think they even said that the reason why they liked Phil Spencer being on top of all of this was because Phil Spencer was a gamer, and you would sort of see the reasoning behind improving upon the multiplayer aspect of everything. So they sort of had like a slight bit of hope for the future, but but currently, like
the biggest problem is the biggest problem is that you only have Microsoft servers, and you don't have community servers for any of these games. And community servers is what built online gaming in the first place. Like Garena, it was insanely popular for a reason because it helped you get access to all these community servers. But now, if Microsoft servers are down, you're screwed. And they gave an example of this YouTuber who basically had his video editing software tied to Microsoft Store, and Microsoft Store went down. And because it was down, his video editing software was not able to work because it couldn't.
Because his license was not being accessed.
Yeah, it couldn't phone home to Windows Microsoft Store, and because that his video on YouTube was delayed, which is really stupid because you're like, why would you have it tied to a store? But then since Microsoft has that ability, they tied the store, and when the store goes down, which it will because nothing is perfect, a large number of users just face outages like crazy.
Dude, I think they'll need to work on that.
And also they like Microsoft, and they also mentioned that Activision Blizzard was terrible at this even before, because Diablo apparently, even though it was single player, you couldn't play if you weren't online after a certain point. Like if you played offline for too long, it would just stop you from playing. But they said that Microsoft is trying to make everything online, which is a problem. So, and if everything relies only on Microsoft servers and it goes down, then everybody is like just sitting without playing games or without having any entertainment for that whatever amount of time. And it seems like a first world problem. You're like, oh, I can't be entertained for 2 hours. But then if you're like working like 50-hour weeks and then you come home on the weekend, you're like, yes, I finally get to play a game, and then you're just not able to do it. It's going to be really bad.
Annoying. And also like you're paying for it, right? And if you get fucked, you're like, what? I'll just up, that doesn't give me such problems basically.
And that's they even mentioned that Nintendo was also being generally shit with multiplayer. I think they have an even worse multiplayer.
Yeah, no, online, not exactly multiplayer, but online stores system, and all that. Nintendo is horrible. Like
you literally cannot purchase games through there. You have
like Nintendo games come with like a little it comes with a little memory card you just put into the Switch and then you can.
Now they have the online this thing.
They have it, but they're very very bad. It's very
retro stuff, right? They basically have emulators for all these cool retro games that they
which you have to pay for, which you have to pay a good amount for.
You have to pay a lot for,
You have to pay the fucking retail price for like $40 apparently.
Yeah, $40 to play all those
games.
Fuck
right? That shit.
But anyway,
I can go to one of them flash game websites and
but people
download
really
a Mario copy
like
over there.
people want to play like Mario 64 on the Switch will of course pay for it, and people can afford it.
$40?
Yeah, it is an expensive.
I mean,
it's expensive for us, but if you're earning like $10 an hour, then you're working for 4 hours to do that, pay for that basically.
Yeah, basically, like that is too much.
So,
But if you like, suppose if you brewer, like if you owned a gaming company, and eventually you had to be acquired, would you do it? You would, right?
Sure.
Depends on the company.
If my gaming company was worth that much,
like
and I had to just kind of
big two.
I wouldn't do it for Microsoft or Sony. No way.
Yeah,
right?
but
I guess
it would try to acquire you for their consoles.
No,
right?
the thing is, it depends on how much money and how much dedication I have left to the game. If I'm like developing a game like Dota, like Ice Frog, then I'm going to be like, screw you, no way.
I think Ice Frog is like a niche case here. You don't bring Ice Frog in this because
if you're at this stage where you're like a company like Valve and you have like a game like Dota, of course not. But like
but Ice Frog didn't have that. He was approached by multiple people and he said no.
That is true. Yeah, but so you would wait.
Yeah, I would. I think Valve would be ideal. Because
I don't think Valve is in the
you would try to create your own platform instead of like going on another platform basically.
No, I would just like go on existing platforms but not be exclusive to any of them. I'd be like, I'm not going to sell you my company, but sure, put me on Xbox Game Pass. I don't mind.
Do you think not taking the deal hinders those things?
It depends on how much money you want, right? If you're only after the dollars, then you're like, fuck it. 69 billion, no problem. I'm taking that right now. But if your focus is on the craft and not the money, which Activision Blizzard was not, it definitely was not. They could have done so much.
Definitely not. Yeah. And
do you think Activision Blizzard was in a corner just to have made this choice? Do you think
they weren't in a corner, dude? They had a very good option in front of them and they got it.
70 billion. Come on, that ain't a joke.
They were still making lots of money with their games.
But Audi,
No, like same reason. Like if it was worth that much money, and if I wanted to make a big out with it, and I didn't really see much of a future, then yeah, sure, why not? It seems like it's like a good way. And
no, but you're still making games and working just under
if I
them.
had
So
a vision for the
you.
yeah, if I wanted, if I had like a
yeah, Adi,
like a
also things are not as they seem. You know, if a company buys you out, you have a contract that makes you stay for at least a year or 2 years or something. So you can't just be bought out and be like, cool, see you later. They be like, fuck you, see you Monday.
No, I know, but then even so, like you get my point, right? You basically make a shit ton of money at the sale. And
yeah, and then you spend the next 2 years watching your game slowly die, your little baby die a horrible death because some company decided to make more money out of it. Yeah, no. See, the thing is, Valve might have a lot of things shit about them, but one thing is they definitely move forward gaming with every big release that they do. Like the Source 2 engine with Dota, the Half-Life Alyx
companies,
push VR, and then now they're doing more with the Steam Deck. That's all incredible. And no, I've heard no complaints, at least major complaints about the work culture at Valve being like too hectic or any sexual harassment or any problems of that scale. Everyone is happy working at Valve.
Everyone is happy, and like it's one of the examples that we've seen where like the work culture is actually pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah. So apparently the work culture has changed a lot from what we knew about it. In the Half-Life Alyx documentary, they apparently talk about it a lot. But the thing is, like, a lot of people,
like, how has it changed?
I have to see it. I don't know the details myself. I just said that it's not the same as where anyone can choose whatever they want and they're only rewarded for new features and all that. And the thing is, like, a lot of these games that are run by Valve, like CS:GO, and you have Dota, and you have Team Fortress 2, a lot of them keep complaining about servers, about patches, about Valve not doing enough, or Valve destroying the game or whatever. But if you think about, again, like, I'm just going to, okay, guys, I'm too sleepy to stay by random. Sleep well. If you think about it from a creator's point of view, which is what I've started doing, like, for this thing, like, if I was the one creating those games, I don't care about somebody not, like, for example, like, somebody's like, I can't afford $400 to buy one hat. Like, I don't care. Yeah. Like, I might seem bad, but I don't care. Like, I'm living the life. I'm making the game I want, I love, and I'm like giving it to you for free. You can play the game for free. The only thing you get is like things look more beautiful, and that's not a necessity for the game.
Yeah, that's not a necessity.
Yeah,
it's purely for like profit. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
if you want it, take it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, nobody's forced to have it or else, right? There is a lot of FOMO. There is a lot of psychology which is being put into these things, but it's never a case of, okay, if you don't get this, then you can never play this hero again. Or it's not like, okay, if you buy this at this particular time, you can play this hero, otherwise never again. It's always like you get special effects. And I had a guy, I replied to this guy on Reddit, okay? He put up a post on the Dota 2 subreddit where he was like, Valve is... So just to give you some context, there's a guy called 33 on a team called Tundra, and he's a very good Broodmother player, okay? And Broodmother has these spiders, right? Except the thing is, if you select them, you can select all the spiders.
Yeah.
So what 33 did was he changed the game files to select individual spiders. So he kept sending them to neutral camps to block them. So this was technically allowed by Valve. It wasn't a hack. It wasn't a cheat. It was just changing game files, which are allowed. So one guy, Immortal Faith, brought up this point, and he said that I don't see a difference between this and using a script because it's still cheating. So what Valve did was they ran a check every time you find game or anytime you play a game in Dota. It runs a check to see whether you've changed any game files. Okay? Simple enough, right? Like, now this guy can't do this anymore. Nobody can do stuff like this anymore. Except it removed this. It removed this mod basically called No Bling, which removes all cosmetics from the game from what you see. So that people are like, no, glance value, too many particle effects, all blah blah blah. They get a simple game to look at. But this guy was complaining about how a different mod, which lets you put on whichever cosmetic you want, was removed.
Mod. Yeah.
Okay, he's like,
I know people who used to use those.
Yeah, he's like, they release such beautiful hats and they expect me to
Yeah.
pay for it. Like, god damn it, I can't just use this mod anymore. I'm like, are you really complaining about not getting shit for free? Are you complaining about their basic business model? This makes no sense. Like, complain about things that matter. Why are you complaining about this?
So
One second.
it's not what
Blitz Carlton on Reddit is good thing about India is everything is exclusive, bro.
What?
And Prakar BDJ asks, which documentary are you talking about? And Blitz Carlton replies with Narcos.
Well,
yes, everything in India is free if you're a pirate, I guess.
never hardware. Indians like hoard hardware like shit.
Yeah, not hardware. Yeah, you can't pirate hardware.
The documentary
You can get cheap,
is
shitty hardware.
this thing. It's the Half-Life Alex documentary. I haven't seen it myself, but you can check it out. I don't know if you have to buy the game for it or what, but it must be somewhere.
Yeah, I think you have to purchase the game, as is with.
Yeah, but it's a documentary. I'm pretty sure somebody's leaked it.
Yeah, probably. They always put it up on YouTube. I think Valve themselves put it up on YouTube after like a certain point.
Yeah, it must be somewhere.
Sure, like the developers
unforeseen
notes.
consequences.
I do not know, sir, but I just know it's a Half-Life Alex documentary, and it's
Yeah, there is a Half-Life.
Unforeseen.
Alex.
Oh, that's the line that the fucking G-Man says to Alex. Prepare
There is
for
a-
unforeseen consequences.
Okay. Yeah, the YouTube has some.
Bro, for, Oracle in Dota 2,
yeah.
or the voice actor for the G-Man is the same voice actor for Oracle in Dota 2. He
Oh.
is Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, I think.
Okay.
I think that's his name. It is a Shapiro. I remember that much.
You're talking about Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro.
Shapiro. No, he calls himself Shapiro from what I remember.
Are you sure you're not
Wait,
talking
it's not
about
that
Ben
guy.
Shapiro?
No.
Are you sure you're not talking about Ben?
That's
Because-
what I'm also thinking.
Because
right
Ben
now.
Shapiro
Hold on.
only comes out with the Ben Shapiro, the political Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm also thinking.
I don't think
There-
he is a voice
No.
actor.
But
I don't
this
see-
voice actor. He calls himself Shapiro, from what I remember. Or is it? I just remember it's a fucking Shapiro.
Yeah, you should not be tossing out random names, I must just say.
Yeah,
I'm not
please,
actually
You
not
can
kidding,
get
isn't
free
it?
hardware, just jump
Mike
the delivery guy
Shapiro,
says
Mike Shapiro.
Control 9K.
Yeah.
Control 9K, you know what? Sid and I were walking past a building and we just saw like a giant stack of pizzas left over there and we were very tempted to just steal it. I'm kidding. We won't
Yeah.
actually steal it.
Sorry, Mike Shapiro.
wouldn't
That's
steal
his
it.
name.
Yes.
Not Ben Shapiro. Mike Shapiro.
Yes, yes.
Why does he say Shapiro?
That's how they pronounce the name. I also thought it was Shapiro. Okay, they're like,
It
I
is.
genuinely no. They say Shapiro. I don't know why they say Shapiro, but they
मेरे
say
गांव में
Shapiro.
बोलते होंगे.
उनके खुद के गांव में बोलते हैं, उनका नाम है ना तो मैं क्या करूँ फिर?
Anyways, I don't really care. Shapiro.
But yeah, basically back to the point, which is that Valve pays well. Valve gives holidays according to what you like most people want.
They
And the
treat
thing
their
is,
employees like human beings.
yeah, and the thing is like Valve, okay, all these people complaining about it are the same people who are like, I wish I had more freedom at work. I wish I could work on what I wanted. I wish I didn't have to listen to my bosses.
Yeah.
And then they look at Valve and they're like, oh, harder, Valve, you aren't doing what I want. Like, dude, that's exactly the type of job I would love to have. Like,
Yeah, and also,
you don't have a
why
boss,
not
for
pay
Christ's sake. Everyone is equal. That's like the best work ethic ever.
The thing is, like, it's something beautiful. Like, for example, like the Arcanas, right? Like the CM Arcana. I'm like, yo, I want to buy that shit. I want it.
Yeah.
I fucking bought it, right? Because it's like, I have the money. I'm investing time in this game. And I used to play the game. I'm like, yeah, might as well. Like,
And-
because it's beautiful.
And another thing is, a lot of people are comparing Dota 2 to League of Legends, obviously. And they don't realize that Riot's entire business relies on League of Legends being like thriving.
Yeah.
While Valve doesn't need Dota to thrive, they just want Dota to be a game that you can play. So people are complaining about why Valve doesn't have an esports team and why Valve doesn't have a PR team for all this. And the simple fact is, Valve has said in the past that we decided if we wanted a community manager, if we wanted a PR manager, and everybody in the company voted no. Which is like, Sid, imagine if you owned a company and let's say you didn't like advertising, okay? And you were doing animation and you didn't want to advertise, and everybody just kept putting pressure on you from the community to build an advertising team or to hire an ad agency. Would you do it if you didn't want to?
No, not at all.
Exactly. That's the
You're
freedom
asking
you
the
get.
most black and white person ever, like, for an answer, like Sid is gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna do that shit.
Yeah, but
Fuck
that's
that.
the thing.
The
You do
world
it.
could fucking turn on him and he'd say no.
Why? What would you do, Adi?
No, I'm just stating how like
Okay.
it's kind of odd asking you of all people.
No,
because
see, the
you
thing is,
clearly are going to say no. If
the
that's going
thing
to
is,
be the
everyone is
scenario.
creative in their own way, and Valve has coders who are creative. Valve has 3D
Yeah.
modelers and animators who are creative, and they have people who are creative with game design. They are not the type of creative people who need to go into media, and if they don't want that, it is their
Yeah.
complete right to not do it. They built the company; it's their way of doing
They
things.
need to, right?
No,
You are enjoying what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So, like, just
Valve is
fucking
probably the
enjoy it.
only company that we can actively say out there is making games for the betterment of the future of the gaming industry. Like there is no other game company that is like trying to make a like something that is going to be revolutionary in that sense. Like every other game company is trying to make some money out of their own products, which is
No,
not a bad.
no. See, Valve is also trying to make money, but they're also focusing on the future.
But yeah,
yes,
they're also focusing on the future.
It's
And
all-
they make some fucking bangers with each passing year, except for Artifact, which is like a
Mm-mm.
lost
We don't
piece,
mention
forgotten
that.
relic. No one mentions that shit. But like every other game that has come out has done something beneficial to the gaming.
Yeah, but I'm not
industry.
even
They
talking
brought
about
something
the
new.
games. I'm just talking about the rest of the things. Like if they don't want to build a game
Yeah,
to
that's
be
what-
the biggest
that's my
esports
point, right?
game, even if it's
They don't-
possible, they don't want it. They're like, screw you, I don't want to do it. That's literally it. They're like, spend money. You have so much
That's my
money. They're like, no,
point.
fuck you. I want to spend it on things I want to do. I don't want to spend it on things I don't want to do. Simple as that. I built the Steam Deck. I don't care about a PR agency.
Like Dota 2 and Steam basically traveled across the internet by word of mouth. Nobody, there was never a point where they advertised either Dota 2 or Steam.
Or
Aside from
CSGO.
like third party places in for like tournaments and whatnot that did their own sort of advertising for the game. But otherwise, Valve directly never did. We have game, we have good game. You like
Putting it on
you
Steam is the
speak if you
advertisement.
want. They put it on Steam, and they just like their best form of advertising is put it in the front page of the
Yeah.
Steam store, and that's it.
And the thing is, I completely understand. I like, as a person who's worked in the ad industry, I hate ads. So if I could get away with success without using ads, I would gladly do it.
Yeah.
And just the fact that,
Oh yeah, dude, fuck ads.
yeah. And the thing is, like, most people are so desensitized to ads that they just see it as a normal part of life. But holy shit, the
Yeah.
amount of
Yeah.
data that you can actually get from ads and then target people is just horrendous. And
It is so like the whole industry is so painful.
it's
right?
toxic. Like it's
Toxic,
basically
yeah,
like
yeah.
stalking people.
You just become fucking
Yeah.
data at the end of the day. You're
I
nothing
hate
else.
it, like because I like creating the stuff, and
Yeah.
keeping, and like making the stuff, but like that.
Yeah, that part of it is painful.
Trying to
Absolutely
get
painful.
viewership and trying to get eyes on your shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So painful.
And the thing is, like everyone who works in ad who's excited about data is basically a sociopath, because they're like, I get to see things about other people and track them. Like, holy shit, I'm telling you
so
guys.
fucking creepy, dude.
Now-
Remember the Facebook? Oh
Yeah,
my
forget
God,
that.
it's
Forget
so
that. So my dad used to work in CSR, and what he was talking about this guy who basically figured out the entire life of a man and made a persona out of him, which is when he goes watches movies. So depending on what time of the year he goes and watches the movies, they know what movies he watches. Okay, which movie theater he goes to. Okay, when he withdraws money for the movie from the nearby ATM, or when he withdraws money after the movie to go eat dinner at which restaurant nearby the movies, thereby building a
my
behavior
God.
pattern. And then when he books the Uber and when he pays for it, thereby determining the distance between the Uber and the movie theater and his
Yeah.
house. They've done all this, and they've made models out of people just like you, and they've figured out how they can sell things to you more and more and more and more and more. And I for one am happy that one company is not doing it. You should be
Yeah.
happy that the
Yeah.
company isn't doing it. Stop
Also-
taking advantage of data like this. God damn it.
Also, like even like the hats that Valve sells, like the Valve make, it's so much better than the
Any other
LOL
company,
hats, right? Because
Yeah.
the LOL hats, like at least to an extent, like the hats follow like the lore and the character. They're not like just a modern, like they
No,
turn Venom
LOL hats are-
steampunk or some shit
I
like
think
that, right?
LOL and
Hats are like
Smite
random
hats.
shit, like Christmas, like whatever festival.
No,
like
that's
all
the thing.
characters are
It's
wearing
either
those
random
clothes.
shit or it's the most basic. It's like the
Yeah, that's
it's like the
what.
base set but recolored.
Yeah.
And on the other end of the spectrum, it's like fucking footballer hero over here, and
Yeah,
you know, fucking diva star hero over here. Like, what the fuck? There's no middle ground, you know, like where there's like some lower
like
following.
Smite, all
everything.
these guys do that shit. Like at least Valve, has
they maintain.
creatively,
No,
like,
the thing is,
they
a lot
put
of
some thought into the
a lot of people are like, oh, the glance value, you can no longer differentiate between heroes. I'm like, come on,
Okay,
man, don't be
fucking
daft, man.
glance
As a
value and
person,
all, yeah,
as a person who plays the game regularly, you can 100% distinguish between the heroes.
100%, yeah.
There are a couple of sets out there that can, you know, sort of shift the silhouette of a hero and all. But even so, I'm pretty sure you have like a general understanding of the game to know which hero is there, regardless of what set they wear. And then when you look into, say, fucking Smite or some shit, Smite has these footballer skins, you know, fucking footballer skins.
Oh,
Every other
bullshit.
hero is a footballer. Who is which hero at that point? Everyone is just like wearing fucking striped yellow, red, and white jerseys on the field, and you're like, who the fuck am I fighting?
See, makes sense.
It's like it's chaotic fucking skins over there, and on top of that, you have to obviously purchase the heroes if you have to play the whole fucking game.
Of course.
So you know.
Also, Control NK says you ran ads right now. YouTube knows I watch weird channels based on ads. No, see, Control NK, that's the thing. YouTube already knew you watched weird channels, which is why YouTube gave our ad to you. So your data is already with YouTube.
Yeah.
We use that data to reach you, but that's my point. You need more companies who are not doing this. Not you don't need to pressure the companies who are not doing it to do it. No ads. Valve, stay the same. Spend money on what you want to do. Make cool tech. Don't listen to people who want you to get into ads. It's a whole world of pain.
And also, like, getting back to the, like what you were saying, like Smite literally took Merlin's character, right? And you can buy a hat for it where Merlin is hanged.
There was Katara, there was Aang, and there was Zuko, I believe, as well.
Agni
was
totally
Zuko.
changed it. Like, you're another character now, but it's a hat. It's not it's not a new character.
Merlin
it's a hat.
is Aang, Agni was Zuko, and someone was Katara, I believe. I don't know who the fuck was. The weird part is in Smite,
Avatar Aang, another hat.
I see.
It's a separate hat.
Like in Smite, like the silhouette value is fucking Zuko, Aang, Agni is Zuko. Agni in Smite is a two-headed god, basically. He's like a two-headed guy, charred skin, basically, you know, fucking on fire all the time. And then you have fucking Zuko over here. Like, what the fuck?
No, another thing is glance value is something that the community caught on with after Valve themselves put out a statement long ago. But what these guys don't realize is that was like 6-7 years ago that Valve put out that statement. People have joined Valve. Valve has taken different stances. Dota has gone a different way. CSGO has gone a different way. Things change, and people still stick to like old statements and keep bringing it up as if they're like, gotcha, Valve. Now you have to listen to me. And Valve's like, dude, shut up.
Community creation has come such a long way that I'm pretty sure everyone has the idea in the back of their head. Like, you know, we are making shit, and everything still has to stay to a certain budget. You know, you can't go out of that budget, and you can't make a character or a hero. And everyone does do that, albeit there are some cases where, you know, they change the color scheme of a hero entirely, they change the silhouette of a hero entirely. But even so, we kind of know what hero they are at the end of the day. And I think
in the end, everything it shows is that they still care about the game, which is the most important thing. Yeah,
the thing is, like, they care about the game in their own way, I would say, not in the way the community wants them to. Like, they've said that
they care about the game in a way like creators would or artists would, or like someone who's not in a way like business, like, you know, like very businessy management way. If they care about the game as a creator.
So if they thought that TI was only going to be a money if they wanted TI to be only a money making scheme at the end of the day, they could have just abandoned the whole short film project. They could have just abandoned the whole, you know, giving out sets for, or, you know, community created sets for the cash. And they could have just abandoned the community altogether. Like, fuck it, this is our money making tournament. Fuck you.
No, another thing is Valve recently said that they are running TI as a passion project and they're not making much money out of it, which I understand because they're like literally getting, like, they are getting a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but they're also working with governments to get visas approved. They're helping players come in. They're flying people out. They're helping them stay in like great hotels. They're holding an
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
freaking tournament in a giant ass arena that they have to buy.
They're renting out fucking stadiums.
Yeah, they have to pay. They have to pay all the talent. They have to pay all the people working behind the scenes, and it's a lot of work. It's a huge amount of work, right? It's not something that the
team
average
meant
person
for
knows
Dota 2
anything
is-
about. Like just streaming, okay?
Yeah.
Imagine how much. Like we are streaming, and like when you start streaming, you realize the number of problems and the fact that TI has gone so smoothly is mind blowing to me.
So, like,
Absolutely
I think,
mind blowing.
What the fuck those producers do?
Yeah.
How they handle all that shit?
Like
It's
the last
fucking
year,
insane, right?
last year was supposed to be in Sweden. Like the original plan was like a year. It was supposed to be in Sweden, and then once COVID came by, Sweden was like, no, we don't want to host tournaments over here, and they were like, fuck you, you're out. And they had
still
3
had to-
months. They had 3 months to basically relocate TI. So they're like, okay, we shall scour every country in Europe, and we're like, fuck it, find an area right now that is empty. They go to Romania, set up the tournament over there, and bring people out all the way from like China and fucking Philippines and all. They get them all to fucking Romania and just host the tournament smoothly. The tournament at the end of the day, which is like under 3 months or something. But again, like how much fucking work can you do in 3 months?
Well, the thing is, like, I just firmly believe that the community of Dota 2 and CSGO and like, okay, Team Fortress 2 I can understand because like Valve has abandoned that game more or less.
Hey, we still have a community.
Yeah, they still have a community, but
it's dead as fuck. The
officially,
game is dead.
yeah, no updates. But for Dota and CSGO, they get constant updates. There are lots of bug fixes. Like I complain about patches being late because I constantly want change in Dota, but like of course, they still
complain because you like
yeah,
it.
they're still releasing patches. It's not like they're not. Like IceFrog is
And
still
I'm pretty
working
sure, like, the
hard
amount
and
of time
doing
they
what he's
spend-
doing.
Yeah.
And
They're like-
you want to support him, right? Like, and for people who like played the OG Dota to see Dota 2 right now is like, or for people to see play CS 1.6 and then come to CSGO, you're mind blown because like the graphics are not great. Let's be honest. Like it's still like these two games are not like beautiful looking games. But from where you came and where it is now, it's like a huge difference that is completely because Valve gave them the freedom to do, the creators to do what they want.
Mm-hmm. Dude, even before Reborn to now,
Yeah,
is
it's
like
insane.
fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
And they had no reason to switch to Source 2. Like it didn't enable better hats. It was just for the game to have better mechanics.
You remember the old layout? Like holy
Dude, forget the old layout. Some items were not possible in Source 1 and the Warcraft 3 engine as well. So they literally shifted to a new engine so that they could create new content for the game according to what IceFrog wanted. And people are like, oh, the Valve doesn't care. Of course they care. They care about it in their own way, just not the way you want it, where everything is like business.
Anyone who thinks like the game is dying or the game is boring, fuck you, honestly. Like in the amount of time we've played, I don't think there was ever a point that we've been bored of the game. I think even Sid, who like actively hates the fucking game, will never be bored of the game. Anytime he'll play it, he'll just say shit like, yeah, bad game, trash game, not gonna play ever. Fuck no.
Don't worry. People have been saying Dota is a dead game since it first launched.
Yeah, fucking 5 years ago, I keep hearing this dead game bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck? It's not dead by any means. They're updating it. It is an active scene. And the thing is, right, even if they don't
it's
update
not
it for
dead.
2 years, every outcome of each game is different. It's
course
a
it
live
is.
game just by the fact that people play it.
No, and another thing is like,
you go to cafes here, you can in Singapore. 95% of the people are playing Dota.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, basically.
No, another thing is like people are complaining about Valve not giving money to the pro scene directly. While Valve's stance on it has been pretty clear from the start. Like, okay, we're going to host the pro scene, but making money out of it is that's your job, not our job. And that's like us complaining about not getting money from a podcast, which we can't which we can't control.
Yeah.
Like we have no right to go out as podcasters or as live streamers and be like, you guys did not donate enough to us this month. Okay. No, we can't do that.
No.
We just have to suck it up and do whatever we can to earn the money. And if we can't, like right now, if we're not
some fucking money from right now. Except Forrest and we need some fucking money from him right
no,
now.
but if we can't earn money from the podcast, which we aren't right now, we are all doing different things to try to earn money. So it's like pro players are complaining about, oh, they stopped the tournament because of COVID. How dare they? They should just give us the money instead. Like, no, it's COVID. Okay, everybody is losing their jobs. Everybody is having problems. Just asking for the money is not the answer.
I don't know why the fuck they were surprised they shut it down. Like, it's not like the first time it was happening. Like, every other company is gonna cover their own asses before they'd cover anyone else's.
Nikki says in India, it's all Valo now.
Tournament shut down.
No, weird.
Tournament is shut down. No one's going to be playing, because if they do continue with the tournament and someone has COVID and
someone dies of COVID, you're screwed.
That's on them. They're going to be fucked if they do that. So this is not us supporting a big fucking corporation. I think this is just taking the sensible way out. Because if we were in the same place, we'd also do the same thing. Anyone would do the same thing. Why would you want to put yourself under so much fire by doing taking such a dumb decision?
And also, mind you, the streamer who, like the guy who was complaining was literally like, I could stream and make 6 figures, but I want to play and make 6 figures. I want to play tournaments, so I should be able to play tournaments and make 6 figures. Like, that's not a business plan, dude. You can't be like, you know what, I might win TI, so I'm going to buy a Lamborghini right now with hopes that I will get the 40 million. No, you just do what you can get.
Over fucking entitled. That's what these guys are. The fucking Dota audience, basically.
No,
Dota and CS:GO.
Like, any like, okay, even in advertising, okay, if you're making a plan for a month and you have a public holiday, you are under no circumstances to give a discount or plan a discount unless the company or client tells you we are going to give a discount, because it's not confirmed. You can't do it. You can't plan. You can't even be like, hey, can we ask them for a discount? No, you just have to plan something for the day, and if they give a discount, you adapt your plan according to that, because you need to work with what you have. So that's like me saying like, just give a discount. Nah, I wrote it over here, 15% discount. Why was so hard to change now? My God.
And see, the thing is, we come from a place like, we are like poor as shit compared to the.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so like, we are not people who like, we're like, have money we can spend and we're like, we don't need discount. Like, of course we would love to like get shit for free, but we understand the value of some things, and so because we enjoy it, like the game is fucking free, right? Like, that's the best thing about it.
You could say it from your shoes all you want, but at the end of the day, we have to kind of step out and see from their perspective as well. And that sort of gives
and also
everyone a bit of insight.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal for us also. Like, we
of course it is. And then the thing.
As we play their game, they're not entitled to like give us jobs because we play their game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it's so weird. Like, again, it's just like streaming. Like, we can't just come out and be like, sorry guys, you guys just need to give us more money. No. Like, if you're giving us money, that's great. But we can't, if you're not getting enough, then we need to figure out our own shit. Not go and complain about how people aren't giving us enough money. It's just weird. It's just very weird. Like, the whole thing, I was just silent about it on the subreddit itself because people were like going crazy. But anytime somebody made a little bit of sense, I just go upward them and come just to leave a little mark over there.
I don't know why.
Yes.
Every
fucking Reddit, /Chrono.
My God.
Like, I would twice every year, they just have to find a fucking reason to just call the game a dead game. Even CS:GO,
and the thing is, like, look at
Activision
Blizzard, for Christ's sake. Like, okay, even if the game is good, okay, forget all the problems with the games they have, but even if the games ran smoothly, like, imagine how proud would you be to be like, the people who made my favorite game abuse women every day. Yay! Like, God damn it. I would rather not have that much money in the game if it means that the creators are literally assholes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's painful, when you learn about things like that. Like, even Ubisoft shit. You're like, what the fuck
Assassin's Creed is ruined because of the number of sexual harassment cases that went along with it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
destroy your image.
It's like, and the thing is, asking money for hats and then people complaining about it is like, it's like companies making DLCs and selling them. You can bitch about it as much as you want, but that's how they make money now. So, like, you either do what every other company is doing and make the profits, or you stand to lose a lot more than everybody else, and then you become obsolete. So, what choice do you have as a creator? Either sell the hat or sell actual content. Be happy that they're selling the hats and the content is free. Like
it's the best
Yeah.
deal you're
yeah,
getting here.
and the thing is, like, every game mode is free to play, even if it comes with a battle pass.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's
what's
free
the
to play.
problem?
And like I said, the same thing, like the free thing, like Activision Blizzard, FIFA is a brilliant fucking example for this. Holy shit, EA Sports FIFA. Every year you have to buy a new.
The only
fucking
time
updated
brilliant
version
and
for the game.
FIFA are in the same sentence together.
I mean, like FIFA 2021. I tell you this much: the only time I ever played a FIFA game was like when I was like in 9th standard, and that was it.
Yeah,
I
that's
bought
when
FIFA
everyone
fucking
played
08
yeah, 9,
and I was
10, yeah.
done. Like I saw FIFA 09, I saw FIFA 012 at the time as well, and my friends were
Dude,
like,
you
"Oh,
even went
FIFA
that far.
012,
I was like,
you
I
should play
played
that shit."
FIFA 08 for like 6 years, then left it afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's what I purchased. I purchased that one copy and
Yeah,
I played that
FIFA 08
forever.
was the shit.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "You should try it," and I'm like, "Fuck that! It feels fucking wonky. It feels like I'm playing shit right now. I'd rather play FIFA 08
It
instead."
just became more complicated, like
yeah.
the game. It wasn't the simple pass, shoot thing.
Yeah, it's just like pass, but you can do like small tricks with like the numpad and whatnot.
No, but the
and
other
just,
thing is like FIFA is
really
like
fucking
for
flexy about
sports
it.
pros to get like the latest rosters and have the fantasy.
But that's my point.
Manager
right? Like,
thing.
why?
do the management.
Yeah, that is their
managing
main selling point.
team shit. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just
And
the same
that's the thing.
same thing. Like with
It's
like
the
I
same
have
game.
added 2 more polygons to each model. That's it. Good job. Well done.
No, that's
I had 2 more
That's my
polygons, and
point.
you can do a few more things. You
Yeah.
know, like
that's my point.
you
Their
can dribble
main
it a
selling
little
point is
more.
basically what Valve is doing. Like Valve is basically giving out free updates, and once every year they release a new hero, and every now and
Hey,
then
they
change
release 2
mechanics
heroes a
here and
year
there.
at least. They've been doing
2
that
heroes, yeah.
consistently.
And
You know,
here,
a good game. You know, a good FIFA game that I actually enjoyed.
FIFA Street,
for the
yeah.
PS2.
FIFA Street.
That was
I
the
knew
shit.
it. FIFA Street 2.
That
I
was a
remember
fucking
that.
amazing
Uh,
game. Yeah.
There's a song in that which I still listen to nowadays. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh damn! I
yeah, the
don't
FIFA
know.
08 music is still stuck in my head every now and then.
Be my rock and roll queen or something. It was
Yeah, but
My goddamn specifics, huh?
Mm.
We'll check it out
that
later.
game was fucking.
yeah.
fun.
When Mickey says
Mm.
fucking FIFA Street, yeah, it was really fun.
We have like fond memories of these games from back then. And
Oh, here you go. It's
Now it's just
it's by the
literally the same
Subways. Rock and roll queen.
Oh. Oh wow.
There's a game in FIFA Street 2.
Mm.
Oh.
I don't remember it, but.
Ah, my god. I'll send you guys the link if you want. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But yeah,
that's-
basically shit practices. Generally,
Mickey
shit
played that game
purchased
too
by
much. Yeah, even I
Yeah,
played that
too
game way
much.
too much. Holy shit. The tricks you could do with it.
Mickey, at one point, like in the beginning, whenever like we used to get PS2 games, I used to like destroy Mickey, like Dragon Ball Z, FIFA, like all these games, right?
Mm.
And he used to play it all day because like he didn't have any work. Like
Yeah.
that was his. After I play with him, you destroy me all the fucking time because he's played it so many
Oh my
times.
god.
He just do a few things and then
My god.
done.
Yeah, he always finds like the cheesiest way to win. Yeah, he's an annoying shit to play against, I must say. Like these Sinha brothers, man. Every time you play games against them, they do some random shit and surprise you. Like remember, Adi, Sid made like a Crystalis and then bought a Smokum to Sid and then tried to hit it from the back in
The
Dota.
Lina
Yeah.
back in 1v1 mid game.
And Mickey
just having
and Mickey, like, goddamn, I'm sitting next to the tower and he's like scanning for me and then sending Mirana arrows to hit me. Like, what the fuck?
that's smart. I
Just
like that.
play like normal shit. Why don't you? My god, so annoying.
Hey, it's fun.
To them, it's the most effective way of fighting.
There was another time where I was like, Sid, let's do like last hit practice. And Sid was playing Wind Ranger at the time. I played co-op. And I buy like no items, okay? I'm just like hitting normally. I'm like, last hit practice. We'll just keep trying to last hit against each other to become better. And then suddenly Sid comes in with a sacred relic. I'm like, what happened here? He's like, oh, I'm building a rapier. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? It's last hit practice. You don't build a rapier.
Hey, I want to get last hits. You
I
know, so I
admit
want to
it.
one shot all the creeps.
More damage, yes, easier last.
Yeah, it's
The
very
logic
easy.
is
I can
sound,
beat
yes.
My god.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I would say I would like it's just so weird because I like a lot of this extra perspective comes from watching the Van show because Linus talks a lot about how difficult it is to make products. And he's so they make like different t-shirts, they make underwear, they make lanyards, they make cable ties, they make water bottles, and now they're selling bananas for scale. So they have like different colored bananas, and even they do like really crazy stuff. Like, they got their designer to make an ABC book of gaming, and it's like a little child's book, and you can just keep it fine. You can read it out to your child, or they can look at all the images and all that. And it's just really fun stuff. And they were talking about how insanely difficult it is to get samples from each company. They have to send it to China. They have to pay money upfront to just get a sample. And then they have to keep going through revisions, a lot of repetitive stuff, which they keep getting into trouble with. And it just gave me a whole new perspective of making more than just like, because I've always been only about videos and stuff, right? So it gave me a lot more perspective on actually physically making things and getting them sent out,
like merch and all.
Yeah, and for a company that's not specializing in it, I don't think you can blame them for not being able to do things as well as other companies. Because like at the end of the day, Valve is just a small team that wants to work on their dream.
Valve is just a small team.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask a question, like related to like you're talking about the Van show and like Valve and all these companies, right? So right now most people people who actually want to get into games, right?
Yeah.
They buy consoles because it's like, I spend this amount of money and I get this where I can play games. Over like if I want to game on a PC, I need to buy all these different parts and learn about PCs and like get these custom with coolers and whatnot and all this shit, right? So it's a bigger investment, right? But even like, so is that the reason why people are like, I'll just spend this many dollars, buy a console and play games instead of like investing in like this custom like build PC and getting into it and
it also depends on how serious you are about gaming, because PC games are usually more serious competitive games, while console games are more chill, single player, have fun games.
They do have a lot of console competitive also.
Not as much as
people
PC.
that do look towards visuals and all. Like those people that want that
even someone who enjoys not even like even someone who enjoys playing like these story-based games, right? That all these consoles have.
Yeah, that's better on consoles, right? Because you just stick them to the TV, and nobody's using a TV as a monitor.
Yeah,
it's easier to do it then. The problem right now is that you can't buy consoles off the shelf. So, and right now, even the PC industry, there are laptops that are able to handle these sort of story type games that you mentioned, like God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn. They're able to handle them really, really well. So I think it's easier to just like purchase a laptop.
No, but it's easy for us. Like we'd go for PCs, but for people who don't want to get into like PCs and
Xboxes,
building their custom PC,
Xboxes are really amazing because of Game Pass right now, especially.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like if you do a little bit of research, there are a lot of videos about how you can build a PC that can rival an Xbox or a PS4 or a PS5 for like the same amount of money.
Just Google Linus Tech
basically
tips.
Google Linus Tech Tips. And the other thing is like you have so many pre-made laptops right now which with no customization required. You just be like buy and you're done. Weirdly, I found out the 3060
to play like games to the level of consoles, would you rather get a PC than like a
I would any day get a PC, but most people would go for consoles because they don't like PC building is a very big it's like very scary basically.
But
one of the problems,
the thing is, I was like, because like I used like the PC I had like in the past, right? Like I used to like remove parts, clean it, put parts and all that shit. So I was like, like building PC, like it's cool. Like I know my shit, I've done it so many times.
Yeah, but
I didn't realize the way it's advanced. And like right now I know like fucking nothing based on what I knew back then. Like it's
if you put in your processor wrong by a little bit. See, also Sid, you have to remember you are an i3 processor on your PC. So if you put it in wrong, you're losing like 15K max. Now if you put in a processor wrong, you're losing 80K. So that makes it a lot harder to just like do, even if it's easy. Because you're holding it and you're like I'm holding
MB RAM.
you're like I'm holding like 3 months of salary right now. Please go in properly.
And like, and I didn't do the fancy shit, right? Like these
RGB lighting,
multiple cooling fans, and like with RGB lighting and
cooling fans basically didn't exist in India. Okay.
I think like the
I was just
exclusive
like, I
games
put
that
graphic card, I put RAM, motherboard, connect the shit, and I'm fucking done.
like the games that we are talking about, like Horizon Zero and or God of War, for example, they were made originally for and if you there was a video I saw recently that compared God of War on the PS4 and God of War on PC right now. Turns out there were a lot of optimizations done on PC
Yeah, it
as
runs
well.
really
where,
well on
shadows
PC.
looked better. There was I
I
think
was
there
very
was a lack of
surprised.
screen space reflections.
Yeah,
But I think they patched that later on, and there was even a slight issue that you could see that you couldn't really see until you really had to fucking look for it. But PS4, there was a bit of pixelation on the characters. The visuals basically were sort of rounded everything off, and it looked much smoother over there. So
yeah, but these are like small things.
Yeah,
that
these
won't
were small
usually
things. So
bother the
the
casual
no, but
bigger-
the
thing,
thing
right?
is,
Those
like,
won't matter.
God of War runs so efficient. It's running better than some games meant for PC.
Yeah.
Like, even it's technically a port, right? It's not remade from the ground up for PC,
Yeah, it's a port.
but it's running so well. It's insane. Like the hardware you can run it on compared to I mean, it's a PS4. It's not like insane hardware, but it's still like PCs are doing a really good
you
job.
can upgrade the display. I think the default display on the PS4 is 1080, and you can upgrade it all the way up to 4K if you want.
I think it's only on the PS4 Pro, right? Because the PS4 has a PS4 should
PS4
be
or PS5, I believe.
no, the
PS4 is pretty old,
yeah,
right?
PS4 is pretty old.
But like on PC, you can run God of War 4K at default.
Yeah, but you still are at 30 FPS on the PS. So it's there.
So one problem that the PC version did have was that there were some texture rendering issues, so to speak. Like some textures came out blurry in some instances, like some cutscenes and all. So there are certainly still issues going on with the PC side of it.
No, but if
I
you
don't
look
think
at
anyone who plays the game will be looking at these details very like selectively. They won't be looking at something. Yes, that thread over there is not rendered properly. So bad game, bad render.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there are
Everyone's
people like that. I'm pretty sure there are people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there are lots of people like that who, if there's a bug, they're like, yo, like this shit doesn't look
Unplayable.
like change this shit.
No, I'm saying like the
Yeah.
general enjoyers of the fucking game. Like they want to just enjoy the story. They want to
Like
enjoy
thing
the
is,
story,
like,
like
we
the
play-
lore and everything.
Yeah, like we used to play games like they had glitches or bugs.
Yeah,
We'd
like-
still continue playing the game. We won't be like,
I-
fuck,
yeah, the-
no,
the-
I
the
can't play
general
this shit.
majority
Okay,
will
Sid,
just
okay,
look
you
at
know
the
what?
game for
When we had a console, it was a PS2, and most of our games were like it was a 50-50 chance on whether they would boot up at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
So even
It was a gamble.
even if Kratos' head was replaced by an octopus, we'd be like, yes, it works.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and here they're like, ooh, this texture is off by 2
Yeah.
pixels. I don't like that shit.
That's the nitpicky fucking minority, right?
Yeah, like we are also very nitpicky, but we know what to be nitpicky about.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's like
nitpicky, but like it's still okay.
Yeah, you
like,
need to know what to be
like,
nitpicky about.
You know the amount of bugs Unity had. I still played it to an extent.
I
Even though
played it
jumped
fully.
off of buildings
Yeah.
into nothingness. Yeah.
I played it 100%,
Yeah.
and then
So it's still like
Yeah,
you're still
like-
gonna play the game,
of
right?
course.
as far as the argument goes, people will we'd probably buy consoles if this
No,
thing,
but again, see, like the thing is,
I
At
don't,
least-
I don't
we
think I
wouldn't-
would ever
the thing
buy a
is, like
console.
we wouldn't
until
do, like, generally-
recently, when Sid got his new TV, he would never play a game on that old TV of his. Okay, like I can't see Sid playing a game on that TV. He would probably buy the console, come in, plug it in, watch the first game, unplug it, and send it right back. So with his
I'd
new
rather play
TV,
on
he
my
might.
PC. Yeah.
With his new TV, he might. But again, Adi, you also don't
Yeah.
spend a lot of time in the living room. We all spend time in our rooms.
our own fucking
Yeah.
rooms, yeah.
So going out to the living room and then playing a game is like just too much work for us. It's like too.
It would be like if it would be at like midnight. Or
Yeah,
something.
where we avoid everybody basically.
Or
Yeah.
like fucking 10 years ago when we had the energy and didn't really care about social connections and
Yeah.
whatnot. We just like fire up the PS2 like fuck it, Rogue Galaxy, go.
If you would buy a console again just for nostalgia's sake, it would be a PS2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a PS2. I wouldn't mind. I don't think you can
Like a
find a
modded
PS2 that
The
easily.
PS2
where I
PS2
could
was
put, like
the-
an SD card.
PS2 was the last console that featured only a DVD player because the PS3 went Blu-ray afterwards. So it was like
Yeah.
it's like an ancient. It's like a little relic of the past that is very special.
You can
I
still
remember
get them
just-
in Japan,
Yeah,
like
of course,
working
of
condition
course.
PS2s, right? Yeah.
Won't be surprised
Just
at all.
put a random fucking DVD movie in there and just play that shit.
Yeah.
Some DVD the parents would use in case that like the original DVD player would work. Like, yes, my PS2 is finally of use. They
Yeah,
won't
you
have to
can
throw
play
it out. You
movies on
can
it.
play
Yeah.
movies on it. Yes.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like when everybody is like, look at the number of ads that all these companies put out. The number of ads I get for tech. Like I bought a new laptop and I'm still getting ads for laptops. Like Amazon is just like, you will buy another laptop. You know, fuck you. How dare you be happy with one? And I'm like, God damn it, can you shut up?
Bhal on Reddit says, yeah, I've played Cyberpunk and all the graphics and stuff, but I still enjoy Bully. I remember fucking Bully.
Bully is fucking
Bully is
amazing.
fucking
It's a
amazing.
classic.
I've not played
One
Bully.
of the best games I've ever played.
Graphics sure do contribute to enjoyment,
my
but an
God.
engaging story is what matters at the end of the day. Yeah, see,
What a
Bully is a
fucking
beautiful
game.
fucking example of that game.
Close
Bro,
to
have
my
you
heart,
played
yeah.
Bully? Have you seen what Bully is
No,
all
I haven't
about?
played Bully.
Bro, you would fucking love Bully if you play it.
Okay, what's it
Bully
about?
is
Like,
basically you
a
are
very
playing.
beautiful
It's by
game.
Rockstar Games, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
GTA in high school. Yeah.
what?
It's like you're living the high school life through this
Yeah.
kid, and he basically has to like fend for himself across like school groups.
Like
Basically,
in his dorm,
I see.
like you go to different classes, biology 1, 2, like
There-
Mm.
physics and
you'll have to
you
be
go
like
to
you'll have
these
to
events,
confront the
yeah.
nerds, you'll have to
Mhm.
confront the jocks, you'll have to confront like
Yeah.
the girls, or you'll have to confront there are like various
you
groups
go around
in there.
in like a skateboard and you have like
And a cycle.
slingshots.
My
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Slingshot. It's really, and you can throw like stink bombs and whatnot. It's like really fucking
It's
cool.
fucking
Oh, God.
beautiful. Like if you
I
watch
love
gameplay
it.
videos of that, you'll understand how beautiful that
And the
fucking
thing
game
is, you could go out to the city also, like
Yeah.
as a student. Like you can leave the school and like
And
explore around.
The
Like,
thing
it
is,
was
right, if you
really
left the school after hours, the prefect should start roaming the city and fucking
Yeah, the
trying to
police.
search
Oh my
for
God.
you. The police would search for you because you're going out after hours.
Mhm.
Mickey says you should
Fun.
play Bully. Yep, you have biology class and all. But yeah, basically, like gaming was the unknown 1920 is back and says yo too because he said yo the first time. Nice.
Yo.
Welcome back.
Hmm.
But yeah, so basically, old time games were the best. You just paid one time and you got everything. But then, unfortunately, the gaming world went on to DLCs and extra stuff and all that. But I still believe that Valve's way of selling hats that don't affect gameplay at all, except for looks, is like the
Yes,
best
yeah.
way to go about it because you
It
get
is
to
the
play the
best.
base game for free, 100% for free.
Mm.
Everything is for free,
Mhm.
and you get to buy what
Mhm.
you want. And if you don't have, and listen, I'm not some guy who has all the items who's telling you not to buy the items if you don't have the money.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
these two fuckers were like wherever on the screen for you.
Hey, I have lost
They
everything.
They both got like every item on the last battle pass, and I could not even reach there. Okay, so I didn't have.
The last battle.
Oh yeah,
pass,
sorry, the
not
last battle
one,
pass. So I
Yeah,
don't
I did,
have
yeah.
I don't have like 5 different items that I desperately wanted that year, and I just had to suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I still don't have it. So these guys talk about, oh, I have progress on this item. I'm like, oh, I don't have the item, and I can never get it again. But I was poor at that time. I bought what I could. Like right now,
can
there
share
is.
But you can do stuff like swap heroes that you can, so that
Yeah.
you can experience the items
Temporarily,
in the
yeah.
game, right?
But I can never have like that own progress that I can look and be like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm doing this.
Hmm.
And right now there's a Chen set where he's basically Sobek. He's an like there's an alligator. He's a mummy inside the alligator, and then he's sitting on an alligator. Crocodile, not alligator, but you get
Okay,
it.
Cool.
It looks really.
Kitne ka hai?
It's you have to buy a cash, so you have to spend $3 I think on it, or $4, whatever, and then you have to.
1.75.
Bro, we already can give you that.
Yeah,
much.
but then there are like some
Nothing.
12 different sets that you can get, so you have to buy
Yeah,
it like
you have to,
12
like,
times.
Until he
if
gets
you're
the set,
unlucky.
yeah.
We'll give Brew 2. We'll give Brew enough for 2. So
My
we can
God.
gamble
Or
on
2
his luck
each, okay.
and see
If he gets
it
the
or not.
Chen set,
Just
yes.
so
Oh,
that
Sid,
he's
you
like, okay,
love
I
this
had
one
the
set.
money to-
You love this one
Yeah.
set. Ask Mickey to show it to you. It's Ogre
No, no, no,
Magi,
no, no, no,
but he
no,
has
no,
a
no.
Jakiro
Oh.
head on him.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
It looks
That's like the
hilarious.
Pikachu
Yeah,
Charizard
basically.
thing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like
It looks
that.
hilarious. Like the guy who made it is such a fucking genius. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
And dude, I'm not even kidding. People are like, it looks like Jakiro. I'm like, are you kidding me?
hey, that's dumb. Ogre Magi doesn't look like fucking fucking Chucky.
No, because they're like, oh, he's wearing a
Man.
suit with the two heads, so he looks like Chucky. I'm like,
They
dude, come on,
probably
you're like,
play the game with like their eyes squinted or something. Like, yeah.
yeah. Or
They
you know, they
fucking
need
blind
glasses
themselves
and they
by
don't
eating-
realize it yet. So they're like, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why does everything look the same?
It's
My
totally
God.
Jakira. Naman Bal said it had gay relationships so far ahead of the time in 2000. Yeah, basically, like it played with a lot of concept. Bully was a game that I feel like Rockstar should revisit at some point or the other
Yeah.
because like
Oh,
this fucking era of PC culture and whatnot would be so I don't even know how the fuck they would tackle it in a game
Yeah.
like this. It would
I
just
don't
be
know
very
how many-
interesting this era. Set in like fucking
Dude.
2021 this world.
I don't know how many hours I spent on Bully, but I spent a lot of
I-
fucking time in that one.
It's a beautiful
But Rockstar
game.
has also gone like very bad.
Yeah, I mean, see, like every
Talking
like every
about
other game
corrupt
has- yeah,
game
Hmm.
studios.
especially their remake. As of late, the fucking GTA 5 remake.
Oh yeah,
That-
that like went fucking down, right?
Yeah.
They're selling it anymore. Like they gave it to a fucking mobile game company to remake it, and it looks like a fucking mobile game as well now.
Hmm.
Okay, but yeah, basically, Valve, keep doing you. Other game companies, please stop exploiting our data for ads. And we have a lot more to go on. My throat is like dying. So
Yes.
I think we
This is
can
Audi.
call it for
Audi told
the.
me about this game yesterday, which looks
Okay.
fucking beautiful. Like
Yes.
it looks amazing. I didn't know about this. I found out yesterday. Audi, please talk about this beautiful game that you're gonna give me, and I'm gonna play later on.
I see. GTA RP is big.
So, this game is called Gris, as you can see in the title screen over there. Gris. It's a very artistic game essentially,
And
and
keep scrolling
now
through.
the
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know
my
I don't know the end
God.
plot of this. I don't want to know the end plot of this. I just want to experience it fully because I shit you not, when I started the game, I was like, okay, Windows print screen, Windows print screen, Windows print screen. Every other fucking frame just looked extremely good. That's basically how I came out with screenshots, and I had to like remove half of it because everything was like double of what I was already taking. So I was like, okay, I should really chill on the fucking screenshotting over here. But what I have screenshotted so far is basically the first chapter of the game, and
Oh my god.
the we are playing as Gris, the girl over here, the girl with the blue hair, and she from okay, I just give my own rendition of it. She's a girl that just communicates
Okay.
or by singing like an opera tone, like like she does that shit. And
Yes, very
essentially-
good example.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
No, you know what?
It's
I'm
close.
glad he didn't do the
Almost
whole
there.
thing. You know, I would have died.
Dude, he just like he choked on something. But anyways, continue.
But my point being, like she uses her like singing to basically traverse the world, and or singing to essentially live out on that hand sculpture over there. And one day she lost her voice. The world around her basically shatters. So now she has to rediscover the world around her. She has to rediscover the elements around her. And the first chapter is called Red. Second being green, third being colors and so on and so forth. The first chapter, Red, is basically where you traverse through a desert, and you have to like you have to basically solve certain puzzles. You have to gain these certain light orbs that are like a part of your voice or some shit. And it's extremely beautiful to just play. It's like a puzzle solving game at the end of the day.
It's
I
so
will say that
beautiful,
much.
I might cry.
It is simple puzzles,
so
but the
fucking
thing is, right, you
beautiful.
just play the game, you solve the puzzles, and then you're like, God damn it looks fucking beautiful.
My
You know what it
God.
directly reminds me of, this game? You know who it reminds me of as well? Moebius. They
Yeah,
remind me
Moebius,
straight
of
of fucking Jean Girard.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
So fucking beautiful.
like the art style, like
There was
so,
another game that was waiting
Yeah.
for.
I forgot what it was
Is
called.
it Sable?
Sable, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Naman Bal says
Okay, so-
Gris Spanish masterpiece.
Spanish. Oh, it's Spanish?
Spanish?
Oh, goddamn.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
It's fucking beautiful. I'll say that much. And like the image I'm showing on screen right now, that's being shown on screen right now, the tree.
Oh, wait,
That's
I
like a
scrolled
hub
past
area.
it as you said that. Wait, one second. Let me just go back to
It
tree.
is so fucking beautiful.
The tree over there, it's like a hub area, so to speak. And you basically they have to travel through the chapters like red, and right now I'm on the green chapter, which is the second chapter. And red solidifies the base earth that you walk on. It solidifies it tells you about the ground that you walk on, the creatures that live in the ground, or the creatures that use the ground to live, so on and so forth. There's even an image of a bug-like creature that uses a big fucking rock as its own home and just kind of walks with like its legs jutting out and shit. But,
Oh yeah, I found it.
Yeah, like that's like a random creature over there. It's just like legs out of a rock, and you just have to like solve these puzzles and collect bits and pieces of these orbs and constellations, so to speak. It's just generally an artistic game. Try it out. It's simple puzzle solving at the end of the day. I haven't explored too far into it. I've only gone across to like chapter 1.
So please send Audi spoilers.
Don't.
Gris ending explained. Let me just give me a quick second. Audi Gris dies.
I see.
Gris dies. But yeah,
you can even see here in like the image being shown right now, she has like certain abilities. She can transform herself into a block, basically like a heavy block. And
yes, she transforms herself into a block at the end, and the block just goes and she dies. That is the ending which is given here.
Interesting, because in this chapter she's shown to be crashing through fucking Street Fighter style arena, crumbling down, and you can kind of use these abilities to your advantage, like to just solve certain puzzles here and there. Simple puzzle solving, pretty artistic game. Try it out. Gris, and as Naman Bhal, or what is his name? Naman Bhal, yes. Spanish masterpiece. I think someone by the name of Cordeza was the guy who made this thing.
Yeah.
Cordeza.
Blitworks are the developers of this. Oh, they were published by Devolver. Holy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit, Devolver.
Holy shit, Devolver.
Yes. Sid, you know of Devolver. I don't know why the fuck are you saying this. You know what Devolver is, yeah.
Yeah, of course we know Devolver, Sid. Don't you know Devolver? They published that game.
Yes.
What's its name?
Bro, I don't know anything
Audi, what's its name, Audi?
What game do I know that they made?
Audi, what's the name of the game? Oh, it's called Devolver. Never mind.
It's called...
Bro, I haven't seen any of their games that I'm looking at right now.
Okay, it's not called Devolver. Never mind. I mixed it up with something.
Yeah, see, Audi, I was right. It's that game. That one.
I see.
Which one is that? What's the name of that game?
It's called that game.
It's called Revolver. You shoot people.
I see.
Anyway, I'm just showing you the photos that Audi has taken. He has taken quite a lot of them. Audi, by the way, this is illegal, okay?
Not really. I own the game.
Oh, Devolver did My Friend Pedro. I've heard of
him. Exactly. That's what I was thinking of. My friend Pedro.
Yes. And the thing is, right, across, like, if like, I was just generally taking the sites, but they have these sort of special orbs hidden away in small corners. So you kind of have to tear yourself away from the scene and kind of have to look for these hidden pathways. So there will be like random places, like on the clock tower. If you can pull up the clock tower image, there will be these iron bars that you can walk.
Which is the clock tower?
Right there. Niche. No, you went way past it.
Is this the clock tower? Wait, no. I scroll down again.
Down?
After that. Yeah.
Scroll further down.
Go down, up to the left.
Is this the clock tower?
Not the red image.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So that's like a cog essentially. Like it's like a clock tower. I say clock tower because it looks like a clock tower to me.
Looks like a Ferris wheel.
Basically, those iron bars that you see in the background, those are stuff that you can climb, and you won't really realize it until later on. And you kind of just have to have that sort of slight bit of awareness of the whole area. Otherwise, you just get lost in the whole artistic style of the game itself.
I will be lost, yes.
It's a nice game. I suggest trying it out. I got it for like $100 on Steam, and it keeps coming
100 rupees, 100 rupees, not $100.
Yes.
Nothing comes for $100.
Oh, you would be surprised, Doddy.
Like around $2.
Around $2, yeah.
And then
1 point
here is the
something.
most
Yeah, pretty
important image of the whole thing.
Yes.
Finally, it's my turn. I never thought this would happen because I'm the one who hosts the podcast on my laptop, but it is now. I am dead.
You are dead.
And then this,
Basically.
Why have you been dead?
and then this Misal Pav for some reason.
Oh,
you
yeah,
had something
yeah.
about that.
Apparently, I learned this like an hour back.
An hour back, we're still
guy
doing the
who-
podcast. Liar!
Or an hour back before we started the podcast, I guess.
Yes, thank you.
But yes, the owner of Mamledar Misal Pav or Mamledar in Thane,
Mhm.
basically he passed away. I think
Oh, no.
a few months back.
Is that the Mumbai famous Misal Pav guy?
It's the Mumbai famous Misal Pav guy.
Ah, that
He's the
sucks.
boy who makes the spiciest Misal Pav in Mumbai. And like I remember
And
him
widely
from my
regarded as the
college days.
tastiest.
Huh?
And widely regarded as the tastiest.
I've never even eaten or heard.
I think you like
Even I'm not
it is at
eaten
least
there.
mentioned. Yeah, like from every time I came back from college, I just go to Mamledar because it's like right outside Thane station. I can just like go up till there and just walk it up till there, eat some misal pav or carry it if you want, and bring it back home and eat it. Spicy as fuck, but it tastes really fucking good. It was kind of sad to hear that the boy passed away.
That's sad. F in chat
Lakshman-
for Mamledar boy. Lakshman Mamledar.
If in chat for Lakshman Mamledar Murdeshwar.
Yes,
Where did the third one come from again? Okay.
that was his name,
okay.
Lakshman Murdeshwar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Murdeshwar. Okay.
Brew. Know my shit, brew.
No, I misheard it. I thought you were saying like Murdeshwar to make some weird joke
Oh,
about
no.
me.
His name
No,
was
no.
actually Murdeshwar.
But yes,
Yes.
guys,
F
I
for
too,
them.
I too am dead. So F for me in chat as well. The
Yes.
aliens have given me mysterious alien disease. So also, by the way, I would like I've been catching up on the manga, and I would suggest catching up with Space Brothers because the amount of emotional shit that happens. Like I'm already like suffering from this cold, and then I'm reading this stuff which is like I don't know if you guys want a couple of spoilers, but like this like I'm like sitting there and I'm crying. I'm trying not to cry because it'll make my cold worse, but then I'm like.
My God, I really want to guess.
Wait, this was
Bal on Reddit.
Yeah.
He says, I want a hidden gems sort of game recommendation. Current favorite, Oxenfree and What Remains of Edith Finch or Edith Flinch.
Play Hyper Light Drifter. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, Hyper Light Drifter.
I
I've not
love
played
that
it, but
game.
the art style looks
Play Dota
amazing
2,
in that.
lot of hidden gems.
Yeah, very hidden gem.
If you play the Aghanim's game mode, you can actually collect gems that fall around you.
I see.
Yeah, but so this was
Well, if
revealed.
you're talking about PC, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say Hyper Light Drifter.
If this was revealed later on, we talked about this in our Space Brothers podcast, which was that Sharon gets like an illness. She has ALS, and the thing is, ALS apparently.
Are you spoiling it for me right
No,
now?
we already talked about this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've
okay.
already spoken about this. Yeah.
I remember, of course.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah. But ALS apparently at one point, like it stops you from being able to show expressions, and then at one point it stops you from breathing. So you need artificial things to breathe. And I don't know if you got to that point in the story, Audi, but Sharon has.
I did. I went.
Hey, don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, and
Sharon has.
No, I'm saying Sharon has to like her disease gets worse, and they have to do like certain things to help her
I
out.
know what you're talking about. She. Well,
Holy shit! I was like, I was bored.
Mukta goes to the moon before that.
I was borderline crying over there because Muta is doing something and Sharon is like going through something, but Muta cannot be there for Sharon at that time because of something.
Yeah.
And I was
Sharon.
I was just like,
Sharon can't do shit about it as well. She just sits there and she's like emotionless. She's like fucking doing. She just sits there like plain fucking expression, but you know that she's going through a ton of fucking pain.
Yeah, and the fun thing is like they show her real expression in like a side panel immediately after that, which makes it even more sad because she's like, I want to cry and smile right now, but her face is like,
I know, right?
Hey, you don't talk about this.
And then fucking Nanba Mutta comes into the fucking rescue like, I am the boy that's gonna do.
Adi, do you know Petty something, the one of the astronauts that Namba Mutta like trains with. Betty, what?
Wait, fuck.
I forgot her full name.
Mutta is the
Betty Rain.
Mutta is the younger brother, right?
No, the older one. The one who's like me.
What is the younger brother's
Hibito.
name then?
Hibito. I was going to say Hibito.
Hibito, yes. Yeah. I don't remember Betty.
Betty
I do
Lane, I
remember,
think
like,
her
a
name
couple-
is.
Oh, Betty. Oh, yeah, I remember Betty Lane. Oh, she was with Hibito, right?
No, with Mutta, with Namba Mutta.
Amba. वो नहीं मालूम फिर.
I don't know. I said Namba. Its name is Mutta, but yeah, basically, oh yeah, read it. Oh my God, so many scenes, and like you have like people who have like died in the past in the story already, and like people are remembering them and quoting them, and they're like looking out. Like you see people in space who are like looking out at the old astronauts, and they're like, I will say the same thing he did, or they reference something and they give a shout out to that guy while standing in the ISS and all that. I was like, oh my God, I want to go to the
Wait,
moon.
was this after the whole moon thing?
Which moon thing are you talking about?
Is Brew dead?
Wait, what
happened?
happened?
There are a lot of moon things, Audie, let's just say.
Hey, Audie, you don't give me spoilers.
Fucking remove your headphones for a second.
He just talk after the podcast. That doesn't need to be said right
Yeah,
now.
that's true. You can talk after the podcast because I need to take a break from talking as it is. So
yeah, I think
This
we
was
all do
fucking
need
long.
a break after this. Yeah, it is pretty long.
Yeah.
2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours, 6 minutes. But yeah, thank you all for joining.
Obnoxious.
Thank you so
where did I
much.
write? Obnoxious Circle Jerk.
Yes.
Hi. Thanks
Man.
for coming.
Hi.
2 hours we were here and you join us now.
Hi, how are you?
Well, we've totally just started the podcast right now. We just
But yes, thank you for joining.
Thanks for
I
joining
can't
us.
look and call out all your names today because I'm too sick. Audie, can you call out the Reddit names?
Firstly, Dog Dookie, thanks for coming in and saying Dookie podcast in the beginning. You still haven't answered my
He
question
was
about why
just
we were
shouting
wasting
out
our
his
time.
own podcast, dude. That's
I
all.
think so. Yeah.
He was advertising.
Blitz Carlton, and giving us your opinion on the whole India bit. Prakar BDJ also chimed in on the conversation with the documentary we were talking about. Naman Bal, thanks for sticking with us towards
Sticking
the
it
end.
to us.
Sticking it to us.
And of
I
course,
don't know why that came.
Thanks for sticking it to
Yeah.
us.
and of
Sticking with us
course,
to the end.
Control 9K.
Obnoxious Seljuk.
Oh yeah, obnoxious.
As
Oh, yeah.
usual, our boys
Control 9K, Random Otaku,
who's sleeping
Mickey.
right now.
And I don't know if you guys
Thank
are
you.
still on Twitch, but Blink here and the Unknown 1920, thank you for joining us on Twitch.
Thank you so much, guys.
And
Yes.
we will be back in 3 days with
Hell's Paradise.
Hell's
apparently.
Paradise. This will be on Wednesday, 2 hours from right
Yes.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 hours ago. For us, it's 10 o'clock. It might be something else for you. So yeah, thank you.
Figure out your own time.
Yeah.
zone
And the
shit.
podcast is
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why? What happened?
I'm
What?
sending the invite of Discord.
Oh, sure. I can at least
Yeah.
transition to
We are
the end.
very active on our Discord.
Very active, 24/7. There is
Yes,
one of
very
us who is always there. We take
Always on
turns
Discord.
sleeping so that we can be active on the Discord.
Exactly. Control 9K can back that up.
And Forrest Dan, who is like active only on our Discord and stopped giving a fuck
Oh,
about the
yeah.
podcast completely.
But yeah, join us. We shall be back.
But yeah, and I'm also
Put on Reddit.
Reddit.
Please do join
I'm a
us.
little disappointed. Nobody called me super hot or said I would steal their girlfriends today. So I'll forgive you next podcast.
That guy is on like break right now. He needs to call someone else super hot. Meanwhile,
Oh, no, it's only me.
Playing the game super hot.
But yeah, thank you all for joining. See you in 3 days. Bye bye.
Bye.